than you imagine. Better call on your faction. Ready for the curtain call, lights, camera, action.
Welcome back to the 2024 World Lifesaving Championships, being brought to you from Kurrawa Beach here on the Gold Coast. You are joining us this afternoon for the final package of day one of the Open Interclub competition. We have had some fierce racing this morning throughout our qualifying rounds, and we are almost set to bring you some very, very fast and furious finals package this afternoon. We will start with the women's single ski final as we take a look at our drone shots from the Gold Coast. We've had some beautiful conditions this morning. We were met with really lovely racing conditions this morning. We've seen the wind blow up as we expected, so we've got a very, very strong northerly wind down here on the beach for our athletes to contend with. Here's a lineup of the final events that we will be bringing to you this afternoon: the women's surf ski race, men's board race, women's rescue tube rescue, men rescue tube rescue, the women's board rescue, men board rescue, the beach relays, and we'll be finishing this afternoon with the mixed ocean lifesaver relay.
And it is going to be a jam-packed afternoon of racing as well. We have worked our way through the rounds so far here at Kurrawa Beach today, and now we are getting ready for a start in our finals package. It's a wild afternoon here at Kurrawa Beach. The conditions have changed dramatically throughout the day. Let's head down to Josh Minogue, who's on the sand. Josh, what are the conditions looking like now?
Thank you, Sam. It has been really big changes compared to this morning. The wind is blowing and it is coming straight out of the today. It's going to be very tough for these girls to take a straight line in this initial event. It's really going to push them onto the inside, so they're going to have to work across it. A massive advantage if you're starting on the northern side. A little bit easier to come back onto that first can.
Josh, what about that run on the way back home? We saw that played a really big role in these women preliminary rounds.
Yeah, they've absolutely already at that finishing line. They've pushed it further to the south. It's given the girls a little bit more leeway to come around that third can and just run with the wind. So they shouldn't have too much trouble, but it's a much longer paddle, so that might come into play into the hands of your Ali Bulls, your Elise Woods as well there. And you can see the girls start to make their way in. The wind's blowing. They're pointing their skis off into the corner. Plenty of speed on the outside. A couple of Olympians and Carly Nervin down on the right-hand side at the bottom end, and Gemma Smith and Tiani Massey up on that left-hand side. So expect that to be where the speed comes from.
Thank you, Josh. We'll cross back to you soon. We've just seen the start list for this Women's Surf Ski World Championship final. Of course, it was Naomi Scott from BMD Northcliffe and Gemma Smith from Newport who did win the two semi-finals. But now we are looking at a whole different playing field this afternoon, as Josh just explained. That wind is getting stronger and stronger throughout the afternoon, and no doubt, Christy, it's going to make things very tricky, very technical, particularly around the cans as well.
Very testing conditions for our women's ski paddlers this afternoon. Josh letting us know that that northern end is probably the favourable end to be on, where we'll see Georgia Miller, Tiani Massey and Gemma Smith starting from. We do have our Olympian Ali Bull at the very opposite, so she's right down the southern end there, but we've also got joining her Carly Nertherin and Elise Wood. So some of our fastest paddlers coming from each end of the field.
They're just trying to get set for a start now. So, as is the case with ski races, our Czech starter in the orange shirt on the right-hand side of the line, he will line them up straight. And then once he's happy, he'll put his arm in the air. That's when the starter knows he can fire the gun, but it's up to the starter to make sure it's an even playing field. There's a good example of this water that we have rushing across the gutter as well. So it's a very tough afternoon to be holding that ski straight, but it's all about getting in clean. Very, very tricky to do when the wind is like this.
Probably looking like a little bit more deeper water there on the right side of the screen as we are bringing these pictures to you, but everyone looks fairly set and ready to go. The Czech starter's arm is in the air, so they're now in the starter's hands.
So it's a wide start line here for the World Championship final. It will be very interesting to see just what kind of role the conditions play. There's a lot of water moving here at Kurrawa Beach. The wind is strong and there are sets that will occasionally break out the back. So the starter just trying to get an even playing field for all of our paddlers here. Ali Bull on the left-hand side of screen. Our Olympian that represented Australia in the sprint kayaking. His final also has Elise Wood, a three-time Olympian as well. Gemma Smith was the one setting the pace through the early rounds. She's on the far side of the screen as it currently stands. As we draw closer to a start now, nervous looks on the faces of our competitors. The Czech starter just not quite happy with what he's seeing there. Georgia Miller on the far side, position number 1. Was making her opinions clear, but here we go. We're ready for a start. And we are racing in the Open Women's Ski World Championship final. In the middle of the screen, it was Naomi Scott who was flown away, but now Elise Wood is getting into her work from Maroochydore. The three-time Olympian has shot out through the break. She leads Ali Bull, her Olympic partner from Alexandra Headlands, and Carly Northern right there as well.
Yeah, well, we knew the speed was going to come from one end, and it ended up being the southern end who has got the best of the start. Elise Wood charging out in front there on the green ski, followed closely there by Ali Bull. She's not giving up an inch, really trying to get that inside run. She knows that's going to be an important position if she can just get up on the inside there before they hit that first can.
We knew that that start was going to play a big role. Josh Minogue, you spoke about the conditions before the start of the race, and it certainly opened up for the southern end of the line there.
Moment for Elise Wood, and she's brought her best paddle so far today. She's been an Olympian and she's been an Australian champion. She's trying to become a world champion here. She's going to have to push back into it, and that's going to allow the rest of the field to close that gap. But what a start on that bottom side. A couple of the Olympians absolutely flying, and Naomi Scott got off to a cracker as well.
Well, Josh, just as you say that, just as you predicted, Gemma Smith has made a move back towards the front of the race as well. She was a long way back off the start, but now she is drawn level with Elise Wood. So it's Wood, Bull and Smith out in front. We go back to Wellborn from Newport in 4. Georgia Miller, Naomi Scott, Carly Northern, all there chasing as well. But our top 3 are now starting to get away, Christy, as they come together, the 2 Olympians around that turn.
An opportunity there for Gemma Smith, who was out there in clean water. Sometimes it pays to be wide. Our other 2 competitors there, we saw Elise Wood and Ali Bull clashing paddles, so slowing each other up and just giving Gemma Smith the opportunity to take the lead.
The 2 Olympic kayakers, they paddled the K2 together for so long, well, they couldn't be separated just then. And it's Gemma Smith who has the opportunity to take advantage. Smith now chasing a run down the beach with that wind. She does have an opportunity to chase the back of this wave here. This could be a big moment in the race as Smith extends further and further in front, but now Bull and Wood get a run as well.
Ali Bull, Elise Wood tacking back up to the north. They can see they're just outside of that finishing arena at the moment, so not able to pull down that wave, and they're going to be joined by almost the rest of the field now.
Here comes 6 paddlers, Northern, Miller, Scott, Wellborn, Corrin, all starting to come together, and they are starting to clash together as well. It's Carly Northern on the northern end, but Lizzie Wellborn gets down that wave too. Ali Bull drops down late, but she's being taken out, and she'll block Gemma Smith as well. It's a late push to the line from Olivia Corrin, but that is too close to call from commentary. Corrin shooting down the face of that wave to join Northern and Wellborn with a chance to win the World Championship. Well, it was all Wood, Bull and Smith, but in the blink of an eye, a change at the front of this World Championship race, and now a very nervous way.
What a massive upset. We saw Elise Wood coming down on that third wave, so she just lost touch of it on the way back in. It looked like Gemma Smith and Ali Bull on screen there were still in contention right until the very end, where they still had to tack further back up to the north and ended up taking each other out on that wave, allowing Lizzie Wellborn, Olivia Corrin. There was another competitor on the line at the top of the screen there. Is that Carly Northern?
Carly Northern did look like she was lunging towards the line, but of course keep in mind that the drone is not in line with the finishing flags. It could be a case of perfect timing for Olivia Corrin. She had that speed to shoot down in front. Of course, we saw on that replay angle there, Ali Bull getting tangled up with Gemma Smith. What a dramatic finish to kick off our finals package this afternoon. We are standing by and waiting for confirmation as to who might have got there. Naomi Flood, she's had so much success in the ski herself. She's now the coach of Northcliffe. She's having a word with Olivia Corrin. She thinks that her competitor might have got there, and she might have been right as well. What an incredible race to start our finals this afternoon.
Well, they did everything right to set themselves up in a great position. Down on the closest to screen there, Elise Wood, Ali Bull. Josh, you're down there on the beach. Could you see who got it from your angle?
No, I'm down here with a couple of the girls, Carly Northern, Lizzie Wellborn, both on that final wave. Neither of them know who won. Carly, talk me through that final stage.
Oh my! The right time. I knew.
And Lizzie, you came so close. You shot down that one. I thought you had won for all money, but you just bogged out in the final stages. Did you think you'd won?
I did think I was going to maybe be the only one on that wave, but being on the podium at Worlds is still pretty cool. I've never got a medal at Worlds in the ski, and I just thought it's pretty cool that Carly's come back. She's a 2-time world champ. She put it out there. She was coming back to this to do it again, and she's on the podium. Yeah.
We're still down here. We have no idea. Carly Northern, Lizzie Wellborn, Olivia Corrin came hard late down that one. The judges are still in deliberation. I might try and jump in here and have a chat with Liv. Liv, I've never seen anyone finish a race as quick as you did. You almost got there. Do you think you've won it?
Oh, I'm not sure. I wasn't actually supposed to be doing the ski race today, but I've subbed in. And I'm just feeling like really strong in my ski at the moment. I'm enjoying the process and just having some fun.
Not too bad for not supposed to be doing the race. And you're definitely on the podium, but gold, silver or bronze, you've got to be happy with that.
Oh, definitely. At the end of the day, it's just awesome points for the BMD Northcliffe team, so they just put my best effort forward and hope for the best.
Where do you think you finished?
Oh, it's too close to call. We'll see what the official results say.
We'll wait and see. We'll throw back up to you guys. We're still waiting for the judges down here. It might be another minute or two, so we've spoken to all three of these girls, and we'll wait and see what the final result is.
Josh, a very nervous wait. It did look like on the drone angle that it was going to be between Carly Northern, who's representing Half Moon Bay Surf Lifesaving Club, and Olivia Corrin. Christy, those replays told the story. Olivia shooting down the face of that wave at what could have been the perfect time.
She had the right momentum, didn't she? We spoke in those earlier rounds about Carly Northern. She's just one of those competitors that whenever there's a big moment, a big final, she's always up the front. She just knows how to race. So regardless of the colour, we know that this is going to be where our podium competitors come from. So hard to tell from that angle.
Josh was right. I don't think I've ever seen a ski with more speed coming across the line. It is going to be very, very close between Northern and Corrin. Of course, Lizzie Wellborn right there too. One paddler who did get themselves back into position to contest that was Tiani Massey. We didn't say her name that entire race, but she moved her way through the field. Massey, Bull and Smith coming together right at the end and taking each other out. It was Ali Bull whose ski got thrown a little bit sideways there, but that also is what was spoken about here today in terms of making sure that you give yourself enough room to head to the north so that you can come with the conditions to the south, because Smith, Bull and Massey got tangled trying to come inside those flags there. So we're still waiting for those results to be announced. Josh Minogue is in the thick of it down there on the beach, and we know that the moment that he does find out who it is, he'll jump back in and tell us as well, because there's a nervous way, there's a very excited way. You can hear all the competitors reliving their war stories as well. It was a race of so many twists and turns. It was Elise Wood and Ali Bull who shot out in front, They then collided around that third can. Gemma Smith took advantage and almost pulled down on a wave of her own, only to find 7 of her competitors were catching right back up next to her as well.
It had everything, that race. The first quarter of the race, it looked like it was really going to be a race in 3 with Elise Wood, Ali Bull and Gemma Smith. As it turned out, none of those competitors are going to find themselves on the podium. We know who our top 3 are. We are just waiting for confirmation on the positioning. It will take a little while for our judges to review that video footage because it was too close to call.
And that makes the wait for these athletes that we're seeing on screen now, being our open men's board final, even more nerve-wracking as well. A little bit longer than they might have planned to be standing down there on the start line, but it is going to take a little bit of time for our officials to review all of the footage as to who got across the line first. As we've mentioned, what makes things even more difficult is the speed to which Corrin was coming through to the line too. So it was a long way from being clear-cut, but we will not be too far away from that. One thing is certain, and this was pointed out by Josh, was that we do know our top 3. Carly Northern from Half Moon Bay Surf Life Saving Club, so experienced, so accomplished in the sport. Well, she is back and she is on the podium at a World Championships along with Lizzie Wellborn from Newport and Olivia Corrin from Northcliffe, who wasn't even doing this race this morning. She said she's jumped in at the last second, and it could prove to be the key for success too. So we are seeing the officials starting to walk back over now. We might cross back down to Josh Minogue. Josh, are we any closer, or are we about to get our announcement as to who did take this out?
Yeah, we're not too far away now. They're just double-checking, obviously, the tape, and that they're about to make the announcement down there. And we can see the girls all waiting with bated breath. 3 girls very, very close in the end there, and then probably 3 or 4 girls who are absolutely heartbreaking. And it looks like maybe Olivia Corrin there, who just snuck home in the final stages. So, and a little bit more confusion as well. So she can't even believe that one.
Well, we're seeing the celebrations now on screen. The team from BMD Northcliffe are jumping up and down celebrating because it does appear that Olivia Corrin has been crowned Surf Ski World Champion. The run from Naomi Flood, her coach, to celebrate with one of her athletes. Olivia Corrin, as we mentioned earlier in the day, had a breakout summer last season where she has started the new season in the best possible way. Christy, she wasn't even racing this event this morning, and now she is a world champion.
She couldn't believe it, could she, when they announced her name? She said, "Really, me?" So that's how tight it was. The athletes themselves actually had no idea where they had finished, but she just came over the top so fast, so strong, and just timed her run perfectly.
It's Carly Northern, who at this event is representing Half Moon Bay Surf Life Saving Club. She will finish with the silver medal. That is an incredible story to have Carly back in our sport as well. And Lizzie Wellborn is also on the podium representing Newport Surf Life Saving Club. Wow, what a dramatic way to kick off our finals this afternoon. Our new world champion is down on the beach with Josh Minogue. Josh, you can hardly believe it.
She cannot believe it. She wasn't even going to do the event at the start of the day, and now Olivia Corrin is the world ski race champion. How does that feel?
Oh, honestly, it feels unreal right now.
You said to me you weren't even going to do it. What made you make the decision to jump in, and where did that final 50 metres come from?
There are a few last-minute changes in our team today, so I just wanted to jump in and help the team out and just get as many points as I could.
There was Olympians, world champions, Australian champions in this one. Did you think you were a shot at the start?
Honestly, definitely not. I was just stoked to make the final and obviously get as maximum points as I could, but the swell and the wind was a good challenge to battle, and obviously I took a really good line in and managed to pit the others on the line.
And you got a few people to thank?
Oh, definitely. I'd like to thank Floody and the whole GON for their support, BMD Northcliffe, Shore and Partners and Race One for providing me with all the epic gear.
Olivia Corrin, world champion, has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, Olivia Corrin, winner of the women's ski race.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Josh, and congratulations to Olivia Corrin from BMD Northcliffe Surf Life Saving Club. She is the world champion. Out of Carly Northern and Lizzie Wellborn, they were our top 3. Tiani Massey from Maroochydore finishing in 4th. An incredible fight back from Tiani ahead of Ali Bull and Gemma Smith. that is our top 6. You can see our top 10 on screen for all the results. Head to liveheats.com because that is where you can get all of the information right across the weekend here at the 2024 Lifesaving World Championships, the first final to be held this afternoon on day 1 of open competition, and there is another huge final coming up in just a few moments' time, and that is the open men's board race. They've been standing there waiting for slightly longer than they would have expected after the delay in confirming those results, and now they are preparing for a start in this event. Christy, we've seen what the wind has done to the skis. This is going to be fast and furious racing on the board.
Yes, certainly. We saw that southern end being the best end for the skis. Not quite sure what this board final will throw up at us. We'll have a look at the start list on screen.
So these are our finalists for the World Championship. Highfield, Howe, Fletcher, Steiner, Piper, Guthrie, Dixon, Beattie, Ely and Maggs are the first 10 that will be listed on the start line. They will be starting to the northern end of the start line. Then it goes to Riley, Verco, Casamento, Taylor, Bevilacqua, the defending champion from 2018, next to Odin Parrish, of course. That was the last time the Interclub competition was held, was 6 years ago, and you would have to say that Matt Bevilacqua has been the most impressive through the rounds again today. Doesn't that speak volume to not only the longevity of Matt Bevilacqua, but just his ability to rise for the big occasions, because he has been flying so far today.
He's looked very, very strong, very impressive in these opening rounds. He will start at the second last southern end of our start line, so we would expect him to get an absolutely flying start from that position. But as we've seen, absolutely anything can happen on these runs on the way home, and the men will have just seen that play out with our first final being the women's ski final. Hasn't it set us up for a really exciting finals afternoon?
I'm still absolutely buzzing after that. That was one of the great races. It was one of the great dramatic finishes as well. I think there'll be a lot of people reliving that finish from that drone angle for a very, very long time. Of course, we knew it was going to be close when Corrin shot down the face of that wave. We just didn't know how the flags were going to line up. Of course, that is where the start line is measured, from one flag to the other. You can see Matt Bevilacqua sending out high fives as too. He's looking quite relaxed as someone who's about to race the World Championship final. Always a good sign for athletes when they're smiling and enjoying the experience.
And they do all train together at their home club. So, yes, the men would have been watching on with just as much excitement for that first final, but now it is their turn.
The boards are now being picked up. The foot is being placed on the start line. This is the Open Men's Board Race World Championship Final. Steely looks of determination out into the ocean. It is going to be an explosive start across the sandbank as well, as we are racing with a World Championship title on the line. It did look as though the athletes to the north did get the best of that start. They could run out that little bit further as one of our athletes has fallen in a hole. We believe that's Corey Fletcher from Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park, the Australian representative, just having a little misstep there, and that's allowed the southern side of the line. And of course, it's Matt Bevilacqua out in front. Josh Minogue, we knew that Matt Bevilacqua was going to be pushing the pace, but he has exploded into the start of this race.
I just saw him 2 minutes before the race started. He said he didn't love the fact he was on this side, but after he saw that ski race and Elise Wood shoot out, he thought, I'm onto a good thing here. But he's going to be up against the same thing that those girls were. He's going to have to force his way back across, and all the speed from that northern side is going to use the wind to come across onto him out there. He's very good off the start, Bevilacqua, but the quality of this field is second to none.
So it's Matt Bevilacqua from BMD Northcliffe in 1. Kai Taylor representing Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park is in 2. Braden Casamento from Alexandra Headland is in 3. But now we can start to see the northern side of the line make a move. That's Tex Dixon on that red and white stripe board, who is leading some of that pace across the bank. On screen, though, it's Matt Bevilacqua. He's looking strong and in control.
Looking very in control of this race. He is dragging the field right behind him. He hasn't had a chance to break away, though. He should still hit this can with the inside run, which will give him a slight advantage. You can see there Tex having to paddle about 5 wide, so not an ideal position to be in. Braden now pulling up alongside. No, it's a Newport competitor, Connor Maggs.
I believe that's Charlie Verco, who's now in second place. Kai Taylor has been squeezed out the back, and that is Max Beattie from Surfers Paradise in the yellow board, who has moved into 3rd. Tex Dixon in 4. We go back to Taylor in 5. Pat Ely there in 6th from Sorrento too. But here is the opportunity now for Matt Bevilacqua and Charlie Vercoe. Vercoe has just added another Molokai board title to his name in the off-season, but he's going to have to find even more explosive speed to go with Bevilacqua there. They're going stroke for stroke as they round that buoy, and now the opportunity to try and catch some runs on the way back in. Will they go with it or will they cut back? That is the big tactical decision to be made.
Looks like most of the field choosing to cut back as best they can. I could see that Vercoe was wanting to really get on the other side of Matt Bevilacqua, which he has done so now. So they've obviously picked a line in and he's wanting to chase those runs at the north.
Bevilacqua is in front. Charlie Vercoe is in 2. Keep an eye on Paddy Ely. The man from Perth has made a big move through the middle of this field and he is on an incredible run. The field comes shoulder to shoulder. Paddy Ely's been squeezed out and he almost falls off his board. That was a big move for Ely. He's known to be so strong in these runs and he has just shown why. It's Bevilacqua in 1. Vercoe is in 2. Ely's in 3, but now a wave is starting to stand up out the back. Max Beattie, Odin Parrish, there is going to be 8 of them on this wave. Bevilacqua's in front. He's off his board and bunny hopping across the bank. He needs to go. He is the defending champion. He won this race in 2018 and now 6 years later, Matt Bevilacqua from BMD Northcliffe is going to defend his board world championship title.
Unbelievable. I do not know where he found that extra wave in front. I thought he was going to be swallowed up by the pack, but Matt Bevilacqua, he's looked fantastic all day. Josh, are you down on the beach?
I am. I'm here. There's absolute chaos. 6 years between the titles. Everybody's jumped in. Let's go. Bevilacqua, it took 6 years to defend your title. Talk to me about that one.
Oh, that was just unbelievable. You know, it's really hard to win these board races. They're just, everyone's so good, you know, you really need to have a perfect race. And I shaped that race one board, you know, it's every bit of my knowledge went into that thing, and to win on that, you know, it's bloody awesome.
Vercoe, Pat Ely, side by side, board to board the whole way home. When you got down that little one, you saw everyone behind you. What was the feeling like?
Yeah, I saw the orange nose of Charlie, and he's just won Molokai, you know, a race that I really love, and I was like, oh God, now we've got the runs, the 2 Molokai champs. So what a way to do it, you know, holding off these young kids for a little bit longer.
You're the world champion, back-to-back, 6 years in between. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, I just really love my board paddling, you know. Learnt my trade in the ice cold down at Clifton, and, you know, just always been close to my heart. Chasing you when I was 18, mate, and it's been a while since, but I'll keep hanging on and enjoying it.
Congratulations, brother.
A great moment there between Josh Minogue and Matt Bevilacqua. They were clubmates for so long and just got to share a special moment on the beach after what was a special performance as well. Bevilacqua was in control of this race from the very start.
He had to fight all the way for this title, Matt Bevilacqua. Got the start that we expected him to, led the field around the can, was caught at the last stages, but just never said die.
We can see on the race replay here, Tex Dixon on the right of screen of that red and white stripe board did a lot of work to come back up towards our leaders, but Bevilacqua with that inside line and the lead took complete control. Kai Taylor going on the wrong side of the can there. That's where he disappeared to. That is heartbreaking for the man from Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park. Squeezed to the inside of the can, and that left the race in 2 out in front. Bevilacqua and Vercoe going stroke for stroke. Keep an eye out for Pat Ely on the green board. He's back in 6th position there, but he absolutely fired through this field like a gunshot. Here he went now. He came down between Bevilacqua and Vercoe, and you thought at this point of the race, as Tex Dixon slips off the back, that it could have been a race in 3. Little did we know what was on the way in that sprint finish as well. Christy, Matt Bevilacqua has been racing at the front of our sport for such a long period of time. He has won so many races, but I've rarely seen him as emotional and as animated as he was just then with Josh Minogue. That speaks volumes about how much this means.
You can see he's really just racing for the joy of it in this potentially later stage of his career. I think he's got plenty of years left. 6 years in between world title crowns, and he's the happiest man on the beach Beach at the moment.
Of course, we haven't even touched on the sprint for the minor medals as well there. I do believe it could have been Noah Steiner from Wanda. He was just on the edge of frame. It looked as though he potentially finished second ahead of Odin Parrish for the bronze. Last time we saw Odin in a major final, it was a sprint up the beach for the Australian board title. He finished third on that day as well. So that consistency is impressive. Max Beattie back in a major championship board final. He could have been fourth across the line as well. Another incredible story that's just played out here to see the resurgence of Max so far today, shaping up to be a huge season. But that was another exhilarating final. We've had two of them this afternoon here at Kurrawa Beach. We have a lot more to go. It does not get any more exciting than that. What a start to our finals.
And what a job for our officials on that finish line. We are still waiting for those official results to come through with those minor placings. First, second and third looked reasonably clear cut, but the minor placings, everyone came across the line there as a rush. So we'll bring those official results as they come through on live heats. But two of our finals have just absolutely lived up to expectations.
Well, a rare moment to take a breath now. After those two finals, I feel like my heart rate is up. That is as exciting as surf sports get as we start to get ready for our next run of events as well. A and B finals in the board rescue and rescue tube rescue races. It will be the rescue tube rescue races that will be going first. We have the female Rescue Tube Rescue B final that is getting ready for a start. Of course, we saw these events going through the preliminary rounds today. The A final for that World Championship is to come. But valuable points are on the line here, Christy.
Yes, we spoke earlier as we watched those preliminary run-throughs of the beach relays. All clubs are vying for that overall club point score. Everyone wants to be the champion club of the world, so we will see everyone fighting for those final positions right through these B finals.
Of course, we will bring you those results once they are made official in the Open Men's Board World Championship final. But if you are sitting there wanting to know how your favourite competitor went, you can go to liveheats.com and get the full spread of results from the early rounds right through to the final. They also have all the start lists as well. Anytime you see a kite like that on the water, Christy, you know it's windy. That is very, very challenging conditions today, very fun conditions for all of our kite surfers out there. But it's also tough to run a carnival in. While we are waiting on those board results, and we will bring you those when they are made official, I want to talk about the Rescue Tube Rescue because we saw the challenges that the wind can pose earlier throughout the day, but now it's even stronger. It's a tough event at the best of times. Just how tricky is it on days like today?
Yeah, we've spoken about the rescuer having to run in with that inflatable or flotation device, which is the rescue tube, as well as those big fiberglass flippers, and they will be blowing around a lot in this strong northerly wind. So it's a really tough job making sure that you just get yourself into position. We've seen how shallow it is out there on that bank, so it's a really judgment call as to how far you wade as opposed to how quickly you put on your fins to just head out there to your swimmer.
So those results in the Open Men's Board World Championship Final have just been made official. As we've spoken about, you can get them live at liveheats.com, but confirmation that our world champion, back-to-back world champion 6 years apart, is Matt Bevilacqua from BMD Northcliffe Surf Lifesaving Club. In second place was Noah Steiner from Wanda. Third was Odin Parrish, who is representing Nobby's Beach, but of course he's transferred there from BMD Northcliffe in order to compete at this event. So first and third for the Surfers Paradise Powerhouse, which is just down the road. In fourth was Max Beattie from Surfers Paradise Surf Lifesaving Club itself. Fifth was Connor Maggs from Newport. Sixth was Charlie Verco, also from Newport, after pushing the pace on the way back in. So if you want to see the full results of where the entire field finished, head to liveheats.com. But for now, our focus turns to the start of the B final in this Open Women's Rescue Tube Rescue. We will bring you that start list in just a moment. But on screen, we can see the team from Bickenheim-Bissingen from Germany. They've been so consistent. They've been competing in every event across the Interclub competition, today in the Opens and also the youth for the past few days. They're having a great time down here in Australia as well. A few high fives. Our officials are having a great time as well. It's not an easy day to be on the beach. You can see holding onto their hats there in this wind as well. Certainly very tricky stuff to run a competition in. No doubt it's pretty tricky to fly a plane in too.
Yes, our officials doing a fantastic job just resetting the course for this Open Women's Rescue Tube Rescue.
And this is the start list for that race. Dordrecht Reddings Brigade from Germany is in 1. Kusel from Germany is in 2. Bickenheim Bissingen also from Germany is in 3. It reads like a German national championships at the moment. It's Harl Saalkreis in 4. 5 is Half Moon Bay from Victoria in Australia. Luckenwald from Germany is next in 6. And Nida Olmwarstadt from Germany is in 7. This is the B final of the Open Women's Rescue Tube Rescue, racing for bragging rights and valuable points. That A final and those World Championship medals will be coming up in just a few moments' time after this race. So for now, our focus is on the B final. We might take this opportunity to cross back down to Josh Minogue. Josh, we saw the board field making their way across that bank, and there were a few potholes that caused a little bit of difficulty for our competitors. What are we expecting to see in these Rescue Tube Rescue races?
On there, Sam, there was a lot of girls heading into the water in the sort of gap between the last final and this one. Just checking out the bank, sort of walking into about waist depth to get a real lay of the land on just how many potholes there are out there. And there wasn't a lot of girls who returned in with smiles on their faces, that is for sure. It's a bit of a minefield out there. You think one side might be a little bit better than the other, but it's just the luck of the draw in the end. If the water starts to push through with a wave or two, I think that far southern side, you can run a little bit further out. But as the tide goes out, or as those waves sort of run back out, maybe the northern end has a little bit less water on it out there. The girls in the B final are set and ready to go, and the entire A final is sitting at the back, watching this one go, trying to figure out where the best line is. You don't have too much leeway racing to Cairns, but you can go a little bit north, a little bit south, and maybe make your run a little bit better.
Thank you, Josh. That's valuable insights to what we are seeing out in the water as well. Some nervous faces in the crowd. The team's just coming back in for one more briefing. So, Josh, we might ask one more question of you as well. You mentioned there what the sandbank's doing, but what are we seeing in terms of the movement of water? Currawal Beach is probably the hardest in surf sports to read at the best of times, but with that sweep going one way and the wind going the other today, what do we think we're going to see from our teams?
Yeah, you're spot on there. Your guess is as good as mine. I think you manage the bank, maybe look up where you are to the can and just make small adjustments. You talk about being one can or half a can either to the south or the north. We saw those guys sort of wash back to the north against the wind, so maybe there'll be a half can to the southern side and then hope that you wash back on perfectly. But your guess is as good as mine. This is where the coaches make their money. They're down here, last-minute instructions with the athletes, telling them just where to go, how to move, and you can't fight Mother Nature, we know that. So you've got to make the adjustment on the sand and then hope to swim straight and you'll hit that can.
Thank you, Josh. Yes, they're just getting their final instructions from the officials. All of our teams in there having that conversation too.
As you mentioned, a very international feel to this B final. We've only got one Australian club making the list of the B final, and that is the team from Half Moon Bay. We'll see Carly Nerthen join her teammates backing up after getting a silver medal for the ski race just a few moments ago. So I think she might be joining her team as a dragger, so a little bit more rest for her, but just getting the final instructions there. It is a very technical event. A lot of instructions goes into this particular race, a lot of technicalities to make sure you cross off on.
Christy, you've been lucky enough and worked hard enough to win a lot of races in your career and then have to back up for even more. What's it like backing up after getting a result like that for Carly Nerthen? I know it's tiring to race back-to-back, but I can imagine too there's a pretty elated feeling right now.
It's a lot easier to back up when you've had a fantastic result. It's a little bit harder to put your foot on the line when you've had some disappointment. This is an event that does take a lot out of our competitors. I used to rate this event as harder than an Ironwoman race, just in terms of the lactic acid that builds up in your body, particularly for the rescuers who will swim out there with these large fiberglass fins. It's a pain and a burn in your quads like nothing else I have experienced. So we'll see how they pull up after this event. Hopefully there's a bit of a rest for them before they will need to line up again.
Well, they are about to enter that pain zone. This is the B final of the Open Women's Rescue Tube Rescue Race. 5 of the 7 teams from Germany, with Dordrecht Redding's Brigade from the Netherlands on the far side of your screen. Closest to the camera at the moment, Nida Olm-Wartstad from Germany. And there on camera, Half Moon Bay from Victoria. So the goggles are on. Not too far away from a start here at Kurrawa Beach. Our first afternoon of finals racing in the Open Interclub World Championships for 2024. As we've mentioned throughout our broadcast, this is the first time we've been able to hold the Interclub Championships since 2018. So it has been a celebration of surf sports here so far. So many catch-ups, so many laughs, smiles, reflecting on the memories over the years too. But we're making so many more new memories here today. And that is what we saw in our opening 2 races of the day. World titles to BMD Northcliffe, the Open Women's Ski with Olivia Corrin, and the Open Men's Board with Matt Bevilacqua. But for now, it's the B final of the Open Women's Rescue Tube Rescue. We are away for a start, and that all-important sprint across the sandbank as one of our teams just goes down. That was our sumo from Half Moon Bay, a slight stumble, but Christy, you can't afford to have any reluctance across the bank, can you?
Yeah, it's a quick stumble and a get back up to your feet. You can see they're reaching that second sandbank now, so it's a little bit more stable underfoot. A few more steps of the wading, and then they're quickly into that porpoising, that dolphin diving, and out into the green water. We have a clear leader at the moment. Is that the team from Half Moon Bay?
It is. Half Moon Bay is in front ahead of Nida Olm-Wartstad, closest to the camera at the moment. And then it is very tight. Perhaps Bickingheim Bissingen from Germany is in the bronze medal position of this B final at the moment. So it's Half Moon Bay in 1, Nida Olm-Wartstad in 2, and Bickingheim Bissingen in 3 at this point of the race. We might cross back down to Josh Minogue. Josh, you made the reflection earlier today that if you had that hesitation running across the bank, it would probably be slower than if you did sprint. I think we saw a little bit of that on show there.
Followed by the A final of the Women's Rescue Tube Rescue, the 2024 Lifesaving World Championships here at Kurrawa. Over 2 days ago, the Interclub Open competitors have been up at the pool.
They come into that first can. It is Half Moon Bay first off, and you can see her. She's making a run a long, long way to the north. She's decided to go at least 2, maybe 3 cans up further than where she is. A couple of these other teams off and away as well. So a top 3 into the water. The rescuers are on their way.
Thank you, Josh. It was Half Moon Bay first to that can ahead of Nida Olm-Wartstad from Germany. They were in the second, and they are on the right of screen at the moment. And then we had Bickingheim Bissingen from Germany in 3. And now the real challenge begins. Christy, you've explained it so eloquently. You need to get your fins on as early as possible, but not too early so that you have to continue running in them.
Yeah, a little bit of a slip up there from our competitor from Half Moon Bay. She had a sneaky look to her left just to see the lead that she has. It's a fairly comfortable lead. Everyone else looks like they are just about having their fins on now. So perhaps a 10 metres or so lead to the team from Half Moon Bay, which is not a huge amount in this event. A lot of technical aspects to it, as I mentioned. The clip up now will be the next thing that our competitors will be focusing on.
So Half Moon Bay are in control. They've been front of this B final of the Open Women's Rescue Tube Rescue since the starting gunfight, and that is quite the advantage at the moment. Although in saying that, we're seeing a big move being made from Nida Olm-Wartstad from Germany as well. They are closing the gap down to our leaders from Half Moon Bay. You can also see that it is Bickingheim Bissingen is currently in 3rd, but Kusel, the team from Kusel in Germany, is making a big move up to the field too. So Half Moon Bay still in control, but now that lead is starting to shorten right up.
Yes, she's rounded the can there now. Look, you could see having to swim a little bit back to the north just to navigate that course. Slight problem there with the clip up. They still are yet to now she is away, Half Moon Bay. So that was not the perfect clip up. She'll be a little bit disappointed with that. We won't know how much ground she has lost, and it has been a change in the lead. So that slow clip up has cost Half Moon Bay the lead.
That is a massive move in this B final of the Open Women's Rescue Tube Rescue. It is Niederolm Warstart from Germany that has hit the front. You can tell that they've spent a lot of time executing these skills, and they just produced it on the World Championship stage in this B final as well. A big move being made across the field from Kusel from Germany as well. They're in that third place position, but swimming at a complete diagonal angle to the rest of the field. So we do wonder whether they'll start to straighten back up or whether that's a tactical decision to go with the wind, although you'd have to say at this point they're going a little bit too far.
Yeah, really interesting decision there. I would have to think she is way off course, but maybe she's seeing something that we are not from our vantage point. Back on screen now with Half Moon Bay. They're almost back to that wave zone now. We won't know whether they've been able to make up much ground on the leaders, but probably at a better end of this run-up off to the sand.
The drag into the finish line is never easy, but on a day like today, it is going to be extremely challenging. There's a lot of potholes to contend with as our leaders start their drag of their patient up to the finish line. It's Niederolm Warstart from Germany. They're now navigating that gutter inshore. There's a few potholes. There's a few little things to trip them up, but they are about to come up the beach and take out this B final.
That was a classy performance. So strong, not only for their swimmer and rescuer, but their skills were flawless. So a well-deserved win in this B final.
So that's Niederolm Warstart, who is currently coming up the beach. Half Moon Bay is second. There's going to be a very interesting battle play out for third between the German rivals Bietigheim, Bissingen and Kusel. We don't know where Kusel has gone. They were swimming a long way south. You can see they've hit the sand now almost at the same time as Half Moon Bay. So there's a late surge back towards the line here between Kusel and Half Moon Bay. It's going to be very, very tight. There you can see the team on the left of screen. Kusel might just get there for second place. Well, we didn't know where they were going in that swim, but that has paid dividends because they came from a long way back to contest that second place. We'll wait for those results to be made official before we declare it from the commentary box, but either way, it was a roll of the dice that paid off.
Yeah, they may have just snuck into second place there. We can see another team coming across the line here. They might be our fourth and fifth. Also very, very tight across the line. Difficult job for our judges. Fourth, fifth, looks like six coming across the line.
Well, that is Kusel on screen, so I've been incorrectly calling that red cap. It's actually Harl Saalkreis from Germany as well that did make that big move down to the south, and they may have snuck home for second. Harl Saalkreis from Germany. That's Kusel on screen in the slightly pinker shade of red there on the skull cap. Plenty of smiles as they come across the line. A great effort and difficult racing in these kind of conditions as well.
Yes, we'll wait for those official results to come through, but absolutely no doubt about our winners. We'll see if we can get in touch with Josh, who may be down on the beach. Are you there, Josh?
Yeah, I am here with our winners from that last B final, the Women's Rescue Tube Rescue. Ladies, how tough were the conditions out there?
The waves are really big, so yeah, for me, for German condition, it's really tough, yeah.
And you've been out here for a little while now. How have you enjoyed your time in Australia?
Australia's great.
And what about the level of competition here at the World Championships? Is it very tough?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on your win in the B final.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Josh. Big smiles there for the team from Niederolm Warstart. Loving their time here in Australia, and it's so great to have them here as well. Germany, so renowned for its life-saving skills, and Christy, we certainly saw that on show because when it came to those skills, those little skills that mattered, they absolutely nailed it.
This is one of the blue ribbon events internationally, so we expect our German clubs to be very, very strong, and they certainly didn't disappoint in the B final. Just having a look at the replay, those potholes also difficult, and hearing the competitor speak in the interview there, really tough conditions. She mentioned for Germany it's big. Well, it's also rough for the Gold Coast as well, so really doing a great job executing those skills in what are very tricky conditions.
Half Moon Bay had the best of the early proceedings. That was Niederolm Warstart in second. Half Moon Bay on screen there. A great swim to get to that cam first. The patient was also picked up first as well by the rescuer. But it was just that pick up, that collection and that turn from Niederolm Warstart that took them right back into contention of this race.
Yeah, we could see on screen here, we weren't actually sure how much ground, but they go into the can here first and just had so much trouble with their clip up. It is a very, very technical and tricky thing to do under fatigue. So by the time she clipped up, had a bit of a look to her left, and she could see that they had slipped back into second place.
Keep an eye on Harl Salcrease as well. That's Half Moon Bay on screen, but Harl Salcrease with a very big move. They're so far south, they're out of the frame at the moment. But that move did pay off for them because they were right there to try and pinch second off their fellow German competitors. In Bietigheim, Bissingen as well, and Half Moon Bay. So that was the B final of the Open Women's Rescue Tube Rescue. Those results yet to be made official. As always, you can get them on lifeheads.com. But now we are preparing for the World Championship final here. Official, just adjusting the start line. This tide is changing still throughout the afternoon. So there are plenty of adjustments that are currently going on. And I think for a lot of our teams, if not all, they want that run to be as short as possible.
Yeah, the length of that run is just getting longer by the minute with that outgoing tide. You can see, as Josh mentioned, a lot of the competitors taking this opportunity to have a walk into the water. It's a very tricky bottom of the ocean, lots and lots of potholes to navigate. So just wanting to have a look at what is in front of them, in front of their alley, just getting themselves as familiar as they can with the bottom of that ocean that they are about to race across.
And for good reason as well. This is a World Championship title that is going on the line. We have World Championship medals and, crucially, points in the World Championship overall point score as well. Those results now starting to be made official from that B final. Yes, it was Niederolm Warstart from Germany that did take it out. And it was Harl Salcrease from Germany that will finish with second in that B final. So it was a very, very big roll of the dice, but it paid off in a big way. It's going to be very interesting to see whether any of the teams in our A final try and do something similar, because, Christy, we didn't know about it when they were doing it, but it paid off in a big way. They finished ahead of Half Moon Bay.
Yeah, we weren't sure what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing, and it has gained them a second place in that B final. From the results of that B final, we would expect probably the speed to come from that southern end, particularly, well, not just the way out, but now that we've seen there's something working there on the way back in as well. So we'll keep an eye on those teams in the A final who will line up down that southern end, and it will be some of our teams from the USA. We've got BMD Northcliffe and also Clifton from South Africa.
Yeah, that's right. Let's run through the full start list of this World Championship Open Women's Rescue Tube Rescue Final. And in alley number one, or that's the results rather of the B final, so that is confirmation that Niederolm Warstart finished ahead of Harl Salcrease and Half Moon Bay. Lukenwaal taking fourth, Bietigheim Bissingen in fifth. Dordrecht Reddings Brigade from the Netherlands were in sixth, with Kusel from Germany rounding out our B final, as attention turns to that A final now. And the start list in alley number one, it is Maroochydore. Next to them is Alexandra Headland. Then Newport lining up next to Currumbin, Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park, Clifton Surf Life Saving Club, BMD Northcliffe Surf Life Saving Club, and Sussex County from America, featuring two members from BMD Northcliffe in Lily Finardi and Sarah Tazaki lining up next to their regular club mates. So no doubt with a little bit of extra motivation as well. We might head to Josh Minogue, who's down on the beach. Josh, as we prepare for a start in this World Championship final, we do wonder how many teams just took note of what happened in the B final, because these conditions, they're very interesting.
Yeah, super interesting for these girls. I think all the teams were standing behind their lanes having a look. Coaches were there as well. I saw Michael King of the Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park crew. I saw Naomi Flood from the BMD Northcliffe crew really getting into the ear of their athletes. They're telling them where to go, and you can see already the girls off the start heading a little bit further north than the last one. So they're maybe 2 cans north of their line out at the moment. A few snuck through really well. BMD Northcliffe, no dramas at all, and Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park had a big trip. But maybe the big mover, Maroochidore's gone a long, long way north, further than everyone else.
That is a big move, Josh. Thank you very much. And yes, in front at the moment, it does look like it's Sussex County from the United States, bottom of the screen, with BMD Northcliffe in second position. So, Christy, you pointed out that there was something going on in that water there. A little bit more sand for them to run out as well. That drone shot that we saw before really told the story. and it's paid off for them in a big way.
It's a short, sharp sprint out to these cans. You can see they're well over halfway now. They will make their way probably over this last 30 or so metres. It won't take them too long at all. I think Northcliffe have now snatched that very narrow lead ahead of our team from the USA, and may even be the team from Newport, middle of the field. They're doing strong as well.
It's Georgia Miller from BMD Northcliffe who is in front, and she will put her arm over the can and will be first to get there. A little slip from Sussex County to pull themselves up onto that buoy. And then I do believe it was Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park who were third there as well, but not much separating the field at this point of the race. We can see the competitors now running out across that bank. It's Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park on the right of screen. Now we can see BMD Northcliffe and Sussex County as well. The fins starting to go on, Christy. How difficult is it to get those fins on when there's so much water? And what is the technique that they're trying to do as well?
You'll see most of the athletes will roll on to their back. They'll carry their fins in one hand and just try to slip them on in one swift motion. So that's how the best in the world will get it done. You can see Northcliffe have done a brilliant job of transitioning with their fins on. They're still just a narrow lead over the team from USA.
But the big movers at the moment is Newport. It's Gemma Smith is down to be the swimmer in this race, and she has exploded across that sandbank. Newport are now narrowly ahead of BMD Northcliffe. Sussex County slipping further back to the field in what is a very tight race at the moment for that bronze medal. You can see Georgia Miller at the back of that black and white can there yelling words of encouragement. It's not long before she will be kicking her way back home, but Northcliffe and Newport, tough to split at the moment.
Yeah, huge move there by Gemma Smith. She's very, very experienced in this event, has raced at many Australian and World Championships, but what a fast, swift pickup by the team from Northcliffe.
That is experience on show from BMD Northcliffe. There's Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park as well. So we have a number of our teams now making their way back home as that pressure starts to climb. That pickup from Northcliffe has given them a big advantage. You were right, Christy. They executed it to a perfection, and now they are in front, swimming towards the World Championship.
Yes, we can see Northcliffe in the lead. Heading back there, it looks like the team from Burleigh Heads. I'm not quite sure if the Newport team are on that screen, but we would expect them to be finishing strongly.
That's right. So it is Northcliffe in front at the moment. Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park, rather, are in second. They look to be the one team that can swim them down at this point of the race, but Northcliffe doing everything right so far. They have won both of the finals that we have seen so far today for World Championships. Can they add another? As some waves start to stand up across that bank, Northcliffe are now into their draggers. They are not far away from starting that run up the beach, but it's a big move from Clifton Surf Lifesaving Club. The South Africans have put themselves into medal contention as well.
Clifton now are chasing that silver medal. It looks as though Northcliffe still have hold of the gold. You can see Burleigh Heads there fighting hard with the team from Clifton. It's a race in two for that second and third place.
BMD Northcliffe are in front. They're onto the dry sand and they pick up their patient under the arm. They are going to run up the beach and add a third World Championship title to their name this afternoon. It is 3 from 3 for BMD Northcliffe. Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park across the line for second. Newport will come back to take the bronze medal. It was a great finish from Newport. We thought Clifton Lifesaving Club might have had it sewn up, but it was a late resurgence from the team for Sydney's Northern Beaches. Clifton, the South Africans, finishing in fourth. We go back to Alexandra Headland, Sussex County. Maroochydore coming across the line now as well.
Well, that race, it had everything, didn't it? We saw the lead change a little bit throughout that race. Northcliffe, though, looked so strong from start to finish. Lots of sportsmanship there amongst our teams and huge smiles on the faces, of course, for our team from Northcliffe.
What an afternoon Northcliffe is having here at Kurrawa Beach. There have been 3 World Championship finals, and they have won all 3 of them as well. It was such an impressive performance. They were in control from start to finish, and now they're about to get the gold medals around their necks. But before then, they're standing by with Josh Minogue.
I am here with the ladies of Northcliffe. Congratulations, you're the world's Rescue Tube Rescue Champions. How tough is that event?
Oh, it's pretty tough. The legs get there and flipping it up under pressure. Again, it's like 100 toe back in the pool, so
to do it here with the gun is pretty special.
Georgia Miller, do you feel like a little bit of shark bait out there getting dragged on the way home? What's it like to be the patient?
It is honestly so confusing. You have no idea where anyone else is. You just, kicking your absolute legs off. And so lucky to have Zoe dragging me in. She's had the most hectic schedule in the pool, and then to come up and back up again and again. And these girls here, I felt like I was flying. They are so good across the sand. I'm like, you guys can do that more often for sure.
I was going to say a big couple of days in the pool, obviously, for the ladies. The Italians have did a great job over there, but Northcliffe starting to rack up the points here in the finals package. What's the expectation around the club? Obviously, another world title's the goal.
Absolutely, it's the goal, and we'd be lying if we said it wasn't. So, we're going to put our best foot forward in every single event. The team is going so well, and we're all really getting behind each other. So it's so awesome to be a part of this VMD Northcliffe crew, and fingers crossed come Sunday we can be champions of the world, but it's going to take a lot to get there. We are a little bit further behind than we would like, so we'll just keep clawing it back.
I'll just have a chat with the two important ladies. The drag is in there. Is that the best job in surf sports?
I mean, it's probably a pretty tricky one, but not compared to what these guys have to do, so we just have to finish off all their hard work, really, and get across the line.
And another world championship feels pretty good?
Oh, it's so special, especially with the gun. I just love it.
Well, congratulations, ladies. World Rescue Tube Rescue Champions, BMD Northcliffe.
Thanks, Joshy.
Thank you, Josh, and congratulations to BMD Northcliffe, world champions in the Open Women's Rescue Tube Rescue Race. There wasn't much separating them across the bank. Newport really did make the go of the early proceedings as well, and then it was the class of Georgia Miller. She's one of the best surf swimmers the sport has ever seen, as she was first to that camp.
Georgia Miller really did set it up there for her teammate Zoe Crawford. There's Zoe on screen at the moment. We heard Georgia say she had a huge program in the pool, Lifesaving, gaining lots of points for her club, and she certainly finished it off for them here today.
It was a very, very clean pick-up from BMD Northcliffe, and that gave them some crucial metres. It allowed them to get that wave. Look at the comeback from Clifton as well. They got a cracking body wave, and for a moment, we thought that they were going to come across the line for the bronze medal. This was the moment. Northcliffe clinched another World Championship title. Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park finishing second. They were ecstatic about that. And it was Newport who has been given the bronze medal ahead of Clifton Surf Lifesaving Club, Sussex County finishing in 5th, Alexandra Headland in 6th, Maroochydore in 7th, and Currumbin in 8th place. Those last three teams all on the northern end of the line. It's something that we're going to keep an eye on, Christy, as well, because like you pointed out before the race, it did seem like there was a little bit of cleaner water to the south. It seemed to make a difference there.
Yes, certainly our official results on screen for you there. That is the Open Women's Rescue Tube Rescue. Those world champions will be crowned a little later on in our festival zone where we have our presentation dais. They will be sticking with us, though, on the beach, watching their teammates. We've still got plenty of finals to bring to you this afternoon. I believe we may be moving on to the men's Rescue Tube Rescue event very shortly.
Yeah, that's right. We've seen the women battle for the world title. Now it's the men's turn. We're beginning with the B final of the Open Men's Rescue Tube Rescue Race, ending alley number 1. It's Baden Bruges from Switzerland. 2 is Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park. 3 is Hull Saalkreis from Germany. 4 is Noosa Heads. 5 is Seacliff. 6 is Biarritz. 7 is Alexandra Headland. They are the 7 teams that we have making up this race, the B final of the Open Men's Rescue Tube Rescue World Championship. Of course, Biarritz so close to getting through that A final. They've had a couple of heartbreaking results today, but they have a chance to certainly impress in this B final now. So the next race after this will be our World Championship for the men's Rescue Tube Rescue. For now, all of our focus is on the B final. That's Hull Saalkreis on screen at the moment. I wonder if they're going to do the same thing that their women's team did and swim straight to the south. That was one of the great gambles. Seacliff in here too.
They've had plenty of opportunity to see. We've had 2 finals now in the women's races unfold right in this very arena. So a great opportunity for our men to really analyse the tactics and work out, well, what worked, maybe what didn't work for some of those teams, particularly I think some of those drag techniques and the depth at which our draggers went into the water. We saw there Clifton probably in a second or bronze medal position and just losing touch on that drag. So we do talk about two of those major positions in this team being the swimmer and the rescuer, but so often those final stages come down to those two draggers and just their speed and their technique. So a lot of things to think about on the line here for our men's teams who are lining up in this B final.
There has been a late change to the draw on liveheats.com. It does appear, we'll wait and see when we get a shot of the start line, it does appear that we've lost Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park from this B final. So that means that they won't be accruing any points as a result too. You don't just get the last place in the B final if you don't line up, you are removed from the points for this event. And there are valuable points on offer as well.
Yeah, we might be able to wait for an update down on the beach. Hopefully it isn't an injury that has forced that team to withdraw, but we'll wait to find out.
Well, this is our amended start list. So this is the way they're currently lining up, with Baden Bruges from Switzerland in 1, Harl Saalkreis from Germany in 2, Noosa Head, Seacliff, Biarritz and Alexandra Headland make up now 6 teams that are being listed. We might head back down to Josh Minogue, who is in the thick of the start line there. Josh, we're being told no Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park on the start line.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make my way to find the Burleigh guys and sort of find out what's going on. I think a lot of it's to do with the program over the week and events that maybe they don't think they can score a lot of points in. They're going to go and try and focus for later races. But if you come back to me in a minute, I will have an answer for you.
I think that you might be bang on, Josh. That would make the most sense. We saw them go around in those semi-finals earlier today. They finished 5th in the first semi-final to send them to the B final. But with more World Championships to come, not just this afternoon, but also over the weekend, could be the right decision. Just the final instructions, a little conversation between our starting official and Baden Bruges, the Swiss Surf Club. So great to have them here. Competing in the Interclub's team competition. Can only see 5 swimmers on the start line as well, so we will try and pick up if we are missing another club. It does appear that Noosa Heads has also pulled out of this B final, so we are down to 5. And they are away and racing. And gee, we were wondering about the difference between the two ends of the start line. That is a very obvious example of what the teams at the northern end are having to deal with.
Yeah, really flying out closest to the bottom of the screen there. You can see the team from Alexandra Headlands just really able to run and porpoise, whereas our other teams were having to start their swim a lot earlier.
So out in front at this point of the race, it's Biarritz Surf Lifesaving Club from France. Narrowly short of that A final. They have a chance to make a statement, and they're certainly going about doing that right now. That is the red and green quartered cap. On the right of screen is Alexandra Headland, and they are now starting to close down that gap.
Might be also the team from Seacliff, narrowly there in 3rd, and we will look further north to the teams from Germany. I can't quite pick up that cap on the top end of the screen.
Yeah, so it's Baden Bruges on the very far left of screen. They're just behind Harl Saalkreis at the moment. We go to Seacliff in 3rd, but out in front, very close. But it's going to be Alexandra Headlands that gets over that buoy first. The second team is Biarritz. They just quite were struggling to get that arm over the top of the buoy. Bit of a gap now back to 3rd. That is Seacliff. 4th to the can will be Harl Saalkreis. As Baden Bruges makes their way out to that can now, we are just about to have all of our rescuers in the water, and they are away and racing.
Fins on now for the team from Alexandra Headlands as well as Biarritz. Biarritz doing the better of that fin on, so they have the slightest of margins ahead of the team from Alexandra Headlands. Seacliff Surf Lifesaving Club still in 3rd.
We've seen the surf skills from Biarritz right throughout the day here, especially in the board rescue races and the rescue tube rescue races as well. As we know, and as we just saw in the Women's World Championship final, it's those little skills that will make the difference when it does come time to try and win this race. Of course, we are 2 teams short to what was originally listed. Josh Minogue can provide us with a little bit more information from the beach.
Yeah, thanks for that, guys. Tactics down here have proved the reason why both those teams haven't lined up. They're in the B final, minimum points for there, and with a big program this afternoon and also over the next 2 days, they've decided to sit this one out. It is a super tough event for the swimmers especially and the rescuers, so they don't think that the maybe 1, 2, 4 points, whatever they can get there, is worth the effort of this massive drag on the way home. So they're being pretty strategic in here. A couple of the clubs, we heard Northcliffe talk about how important it was to win that World Championships, and I think Burleigh, they're playing the game as well. As Alex pushes on the way home alongside of Biarritz, both of those swimmers just missed the start. Their athlete got to the can. Both of them were kind of looking at each other, and the crowd started yelling, go, go. So a few mistakes starting to creep into the athletes this afternoon. Very late in the day. They're very tired from all these rounds, so it's going to become a real impact, especially when we get down to those finals later on.
Josh, a few mistakes starting to creep in as the day goes on. We've just seen a few shots of a few waves starting to come in as well, breaking over that string of 90s. That's something we're starting to see more often because although we are focused on this B final, we have Board Rescue World Championships to be won later today.
The waves that they might not be breaking at the cans, but they're just standing up ever so slightly compared to this morning, and it's definitely enough for a Board Rescue team to pick up, and like we saw in those ski races, enough for an athlete on a bit of fast craft to really crack. So when these Board Rescues finals come, it's going to come down to a bit of luck. If you've got some speed early and one stands up for you, you could get a run all the way from the can. It's going to make it interesting for us because that'll mean any of the 8 teams could still be in it regardless of the order at the pickups. But that's all still to come as Biarritz, they come up and cross the line to take out the B final.
An execution of skill from Biarritz. They have been so impressive throughout today in terms of making the most of those moments when they arose. They had an opportunity to sneak further ahead on the way back in. They did absolutely everything right. Biarritz from France will win our B final of the Open Men's Rescue Tube Rescue. Alexandra Headlands will come across the line for second, with one of our German clubs in the mix there for third. We will wait to see who that was. There was a couple of stumbles there, but plenty of smiles from Hull, Sale Crease as they put down their patient. Seacliff right there, as well as they make their way up the beach.
Yeah, Biarritz just too strong for that B final, taking it out there ahead of Alexandra Headlands. A very interesting update there from Josh, with 2 of our teams electing to not participate in that B final, and hopefully that just stresses the difficulty of this event. It might not look like it, but it's one of the most difficult events on the program. Josh, we'll throw down to you on the beach with our winners of that B final.
I'm here with the Frenchmen there, winners of the B final in the Rescue Tube Rescue. Tell me about that one of the toughest events of the weekend. Must feel good to win the B final.
Oh, it's good to win something at least. You know, us coming back from France and coming here on the Gold Coast, so good to be here anyway. So yeah, not made the A final, but at least the B final, and made a win on that. It's already good with the France, so no.
And your club's been in the thick of the action all weekend long. You've had a great time out here?
We're having a good time. With 9 of us from Biarritz. It's good to be here. Some of them are the first time in Australia. Good world champs. I mean, it's so good.
Do you have a message for all the French fans back at home? Do you want to send them a message down the camera?
I do. Agour Denelli. Bonjour à tous en France et au Pays Basque. On vous fait des gros mouchous ici depuis la Gold Coast et on pense à vous. Mille esker.
Well, thank you, guys. Congratulations, Biarritz, winner of the B final.
Thank you, Josh. So great to see Biarritz not just here competing, not just winning races, but doing so with a smile on their face as well. They certainly enjoyed that one. And as they said, nice to win something here at the World Championships. They have been right in contention for all of these World Championship finals, and they really showed why in this race too. Pretty dominant from the start, Christy.
They were very, very strong. As you mentioned there, a little bit unlucky not to secure a spot in that A final. You could sense that there was a bit of disappointment, but happy with a win in the B final. It's a beautiful part of the world, Biarritz in France. They do get a nice swell on their beach, so these conditions wouldn't have worried them too much, and such a dominant performance.
Just as we're seeing the race highlights on screen at the moment, it was funny to note exactly what Josh said. You could see when the rescuers from Alexandra Headlands and Biarritz started running, they were looking from side to side and even over their shoulder at the crowd on the way back in, because they didn't know whether they actually were right to go or not. A nice, strong body position from our patient up the beach there, helping our draggers. From B Ritz, who did take out the B final ahead of the Australian team, Alexandra Headland. Harl Saalkreis from Germany did finish third ahead of Seacliff Surf Lifesaving Club. And on the right of screen right there, Baden Bruges from Switzerland. But now our focus turns to the A final, the World Championship final here at the 2024 World Lifesaving Championships at Kurrawa Beach on the beautiful Gold Coast in Australia. This is the final of the Open Men's Rescue Tube Rescue. They're ready for a start, and from the right of screen we have Trigg Island, Newport, Mount Maunganui, Sunshine Coast, Grammar Pool, Maroochydore, Currumbin, Mermaid Beach and BMD Northcliffe all making an absolutely flying start, Christy.
Yeah, you can see there the cap of BMD Northcliffe getting a fantastic start, narrowly leading out there ahead of the Mermaid Beach team. Again, this southern end seeming to get the best of it.
And more of a gap that we've seen between those two different lines as well. That's a very interesting decision. As we've spoken about throughout our rescue races today, so rare to see a pack form on the way out. Right now, we've got some swimmers chasing the feet of one of our competitors too.
I'm just trying to pick up that cap third in from the left-hand side of the screen. I'm not quite sure if that might be the club of Maroochydore.
I think it could be Currumbin at this stage. Yeah, it is Currumbin out in front. So that is Callum Brennan on the right of screen as we see it right now, who has absolutely flown out, hasn't he?
He's absolutely flying, yeah. Very, very impressive. You can see he will hit that yellow can first, signal to his rescuer, narrowly ahead of the team from Mermaid Beach. They'll be both in the water.
Wow, what a swim it was from Callum Brennan. Currumbin in one at this stage of the race. It could have been Sunshine Coast Grammar Pool right there as well, with Lucas Miller, who was swimming very difficult to pick them up as they charge out across the bank. BMD Northcliffe always hunting within range as well. Such a strong team, and as we know, they have won all 3 World Championship races today, which is just incredible. But already in the blink of an eye, Christy, it's Currumbin streaking out to that string of 9.
Currumbin, they have turned up ready to race. They probably have about a 5 metre to 15 metre lead on the field. Look at how fast these swimmers go with those fiberglass fins. They'll be reaching those swim cans in no time, ready to do their clip up. They'll be hoping for a clean, efficient clip up so that they can give their team the best chance on the way home.
And they are very close to doing that at the moment. So it is Currumbin in front right now. They are at that can. BMD Northcliffe, though, are hunting them down. Currumbin are in one. Just a little bit of adjustments there as they picked up their patient. Christy, what did you see of that exchange?
Oh, it looked not too bad. Yeah, you've got to take into account the fatigue that they'll be hitting those cans with. It probably wasn't the smoothest that they've practiced, but they've still got the lead. You can see there Northcliffe probably got slightly better of the pickup. However, they've still got maybe a 5 to 10 metre buffer to swim down.
So it's Currumbin in control right now, but BMD Northcliffe is coming hard. That gap is getting shorter and shorter. It's a long way back at the moment to third place, and it's very hard to call. Perhaps Maroochydore has the best of it, but right now that race is for the gold medal and that World Championship title. Currumbin swimming back in towards that break zone as waves are starting to stand up. Currumbin almost gets down the front of that first one. The second one doesn't quite stand up for them to take advantage. And now there's something for this third wave. BMD Northcliffe is coming hard though, and now they're down the face.
Northcliffe have picked up that whitewater. They are still on it, so their draggers are already in touch. We can see Currumbin have also made up the pickup. It is absolutely a drag race to the finish.
It's a sprint finish for the World Championship title in the Open Men's Rescue Tube Rescue, and BMD Northcliffe has won it. All 4 World Championship finals are going home to the surf club of BMD Northcliffe. Currumbin with a huge smile on their faces as they come across the line for the silver medal, and there's a real race on for the bronze now too.
That looks like the team from Sunshine Coast Grammar on the screen. Maroochydore too are still in contention for this bronze medal. We'll wait to see who actually gets across this line. I can't really see the rest of the field there.
I think it will be Maroochydore, perhaps. Maroochydore on that southern end of the line. Yes, it is the cap of Maroochydore. They've ended up on top of our gold and silver medalists. BMD Northcliffe, what a sprint finish. We've spoken throughout our afternoon finals package about that sandbank just seeming to run a little bit further out and also look a lot smoother. There's less potholes there too, and Northcliffe took advantage of that.
Yeah, wow, I could not see anyone coming over the top of Currumbin. But right at that final stage, Northcliffe just getting a perfect run down that white water, and they capitalised on that. Those draggers did a fantastic job. Unbelievable. Northcliffe, what a clean sweep they are having this afternoon.
It has been a dream afternoon for BMD Northcliffe. It could not have gone any better than it has. They won the women's ski, they've won the men's board, they won the women's rescue tube rescue, and now they are adding the men's rescue tube rescue title to that as well. The winning team is with Josh Minogue.
I am with the boys. 4 finals, 4 gold medals for BMD Northcliffe. That's not a bad start to the afternoon, is it? How tough was that one, Bales?
Yeah, it was short and very tricky conditions out there, but Northcliffe, we've been really targeting this. You saw the girls, so we really planned out that line perfectly and just nailed that wave on the way in.
And what about dragging the big fella home? He's not light, is he?
Oh, mate, he feels like he's fucking 20 kgs. He feels like nothing.
Is it all that kick in the back end?
Oh, yeah, he's such a good patient, eh? Couldn't ask for a better man.
What does it feel like to combine and get this one done for the Northcliffe Club?
Yeah, it's huge. I've never worked with Louis on the rescue tube before, but we knew from the heat that as soon as we did it, we're like, this is a winning team. We knew it. We were quiet, and the toes too. We got the biggest boys on the beach, so it's huge for the club.
The Twin Towers out there, I thought they were going to walk out to the cans. They're so big. Let's jump in here. What did you think when you grabbed him? The other teams were coming fast.
Just rip and grip. Rip and grip.
Keep it simple. I love it. Congratulations, boys. Northcliffe, a 4th gold medal in as many finals.
Wow, what a performance from the team from BMD Northcliffe. Certainly excited about that as well. They could barely keep the emotions in check, and for good reason as we relive those race highlights. It was Currumbin who had the best of the start of the race, but Northcliffe just never went away, did they?
Yeah, we didn't know if they could do it from the lead that Currumbin had, but listening to that interview there, they certainly had the belief. They knew they were the team that could get this job done, become the world champs, and they have done it. So a fabulous performance from the team from Northcliffe. A silver medal and a excellent fight all the way to the home for the team from Currumbin. You can see them on screen now. They gave it absolutely their all.
Yeah, that's right. BMD Northcliffe made a move late. It was in that break zone. Currumbin would have been thinking they maybe could have had it won, but it was just a couple of stumbles and that deeper water they had to run through that did prove the difference. A great shot to show just how close it was there at the end. Big celebrations too. Has to be noted, Riley Fitzsimmons on the right of frame. We did see him just claim the World Championship in the Rescue Tube Rescue as a dragger for BMD Northcliffe. Well, just a few weeks ago, he won a silver medal at the Olympic Games for Australia in the kayaking. He's going to be tough to beat in that ski race as well. But he started his campaign on the perfect note. It was BMD Northcliffe Surf Life Saving Club who won not just that men's Rescue Tube Rescue, but the women's as well, to go with victories in the female ski and the men's board. 4 from 4 so far today. An unbelievable afternoon. With more to come, it was Currumbin Beach, the silver medalist. 3 was Maroochydore. They are our medalists for the world titles of 2024. Sunshine Coast Grammar Pool Surf Life Saving Club were 4th ahead of Mermaid, Newport, Mount Maunganui as well. And then in 8th position, it was Trig Island Surf Life Saving Club from Western Australia too. So another thrilling final here in the Open Men's Rescue Tube Rescue. And now attention just starts to turn back to the board rescue races. We're beginning with our B final in the Open Female Board Rescue. And in alley number 1, it's Kurrawa. 2 is Half Moon Bay. 3 is Clifton from South Africa. In 4 is Sussex County from the United States. 5 is Manly. 6 is Surfers Paradise. 7 is Currumbin Beach. And in 8th spot on the start line of this B final of the Women's Board Rescue, well, there actually isn't an 8th position. There is 7 in this B final. 8 will contest the A final. So we're not far away from a start in this B final of the Open Women's Board Rescue race. we might take this opportunity to go back down to Josh Minogue on the beach, because after that sprint finish that we saw between Northcliffe and Currumbin, Josh, it does look like that southern end of the start line and the finish line for these rescue races is better to go out and in on across the bank. Is that a fair comment?
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit shallower on that far end there, and that's why all those rescue tube rescue teams ended up down on that end. But if you're on the top northern side, you don't really have that option. You're going to use the wind, you're going to use the run to push back across, but there's a little bit of a hole in the centre of the finish line out there, so they might have to stay on the board a little bit longer, and the teams on the southern end will be running up the beach. It's going to make things very interesting. This is really board rescue conditions. Different lines, different cans have different courses, and it's going to be really tough to figure out which ones are the best ones until the race has been run and won.
A lot of skill goes into this race, Josh. I don't want to say it's a lottery, but in a race so fast like a board rescue, you're right, waves popping up, sandbanks, they make all the difference, don't they?
Yeah, you're exactly right there, and every single one of the A final girls is down here watching this one. They're currently just moving the start line further to the south, so all those teams are moving down closer to that bank. There's a few little conversations going on between coaches and officials there, so they've taken out that bit of a hole on the northern end, and most of the teams will be heading out on the bank on the southern side.
It's a very interesting insight, Josh. How far are we talking in terms of that line being moved?
I would say 20 metres down, so a really significant shift, almost back over the finish line of those board races earlier today. A little bit more even still, maybe you'd rather be down that southern end, but a lot more even than it was before.
Wow, it's a big change, Josh. Thank you very much. We'll come back to you a little bit later. Christy, we've been speaking throughout all those rescue tube rescue races about that southern end being perhaps the best of the conditions. As that tide drops out, the officials making that smart decision to shift the whole start line down there.
Yeah, great call from the officials. Just noticing that that hole on that northern end was probably growing and really causing those competitors a little bit of a disadvantage, which we don't want to see here at the World Championship. So they have the option of shifting that start line, which they have done. It'll add just a slight delay here before we get this B final underway. You can see them just readjusting that course. So I imagine they have not reset the swim cans out the back, so the competitors will have to make an allowance for that, whether they do have to swim back that extra 20 metres that they are now starting further down the beach.
Also gives us an opportunity just to take a breath after some pretty rapid fire finals too. BMD Northcliffe Surf Life Saving Club taking out all 4 gold medals today that we have seen this afternoon. A dream start to the Open Championships. It's the big story that we've had the pleasure of watching unfold here on the live stream of the 2024 World Lifesaving Championships at Currawa Beach on the beautiful Gold Coast. It's a windy day, but it's a picturesque day as well. It started early this morning. There wasn't much wind then, but it has got stronger and stronger throughout the day, all leading towards these races that we are seeing now. So this is the B final of the Open Women's Board Rescue that is lining up. We'll have the B final, then the A. The same will be done for the men's. We'll finish off our races this afternoon with the beach relay finals. We cannot wait to see those.
It has been a fantastic near 2 weeks of racing for our World Championships. Over 7,000 competitors across the international and the Interclub competition, and over 50 countries taking part. So we are so excited to be bringing the Gold Coast to the world. We hope you are enjoying the live stream wherever you are joining us from.
And we have certainly enjoyed bringing it to you all as well. The World Championships back in Australia and back on the Gold Coast here for the first time in 36 years. It was last held at Southport, which you can see well on the right of screen there where those 2 tall towers are. That's about where Southport is, maybe a little bit further down, not far away at all. The 38th year of the World Championships in this format as we know it, held every second year. But of course, with travel restrictions around the COVID-19 pandemic, this is the first time in 6 years that we've been able to hold the Interclub competition. One of the great stories that we've already been able to witness was Matt Bevilacqua defending his title 6 years apart. What an incredible story that was. Let's head back down to Josh Minogue, who's on the beach and he's just taking it all in during this little delay, Josh.
Yeah, I'm down here wandering through the start line. There's a few conversations going between coaches and the officials about the movement of that start line, because obviously if it evens it up for everybody, somebody who had an advantage doesn't have an advantage anymore. So there's a little games being played down here, conversations all around. We're just waiting for this B final to kick off. And the ladies looking very nervous. It's been a long, long day. They know they won't get many opportunities at a World Championship in a board rescue, that is for sure. So the A final looking very serious. The B final a little bit more relaxed down there. They know they're racing for points and nothing else. So the girls are not too far away. The conversations seem like they've ceased and we're about to get back to racing.
Josh, I wasn't going to ask you to name names, but are we talking coaches of the A final, or is it the B final competitors that are unhappy with this start line?
A final, very, very upset. I'd be happy to name names, but I won't. And it seems like we've got it sorted right now, and there's a few serial offenders down here.
Okay, well, that just goes to show how important every single point, every single place is at the World Championships. We've been referring to the club point score over the last week of competition here when the Interclub competition did kick off, but it's certainly exploded to the forefront of discussion this afternoon, hasn't it? Now we're starting to see these world titles being run and being won. A beautiful drone shot as well from our production team here. The IRB racing at the bottom of the screen. Gee, that's tough racing at the best of times, let alone when there is wind like this. I was speaking to one of the competitors who was thrown out of his boat yesterday. Wild, woolly racing here at Kurrawa Beach. So we're now getting ready for that start in the B final of the Open Women's Board Rescue Championship of the world. 7 teams in the B final. We are about to see 8 go head-to-head in the A final to try and win gold. Christy, what a day it's been.
Yeah, it's been spectacular. I'm absolutely loving these drone shots that we are bringing to you. As Josh mentioned, we're getting quite close to a start in this B final. Officials just making sure the course is set and fair. Competitors and team managers are well within their rights to protest the course before the event starts. So they might have just questioned start line, being able to have that moved. You cannot protest the course after you've completed the race, so it's no point waiting till you have finished the race to complain about where your position was on the start line. So the competitors doing the right thing, maybe voicing their opinions on where they were positioned on the start line. It may have been those athletes who were at that northern end asking for that start line to be moved south, and yeah, good on them. Fair enough.
It is a World Championships, isn't it? It is a World Championships. There is so much to race for. Only held every 2 years, but in this case, the first time in 6 years. We are so thrilled to be with you, bringing you all the action. My name is Sam Jordan, sitting alongside Christy Munro with Josh Minogue down on the beach. It has been an incredible afternoon of racing, and now a little bit more of a delay. We might go back down to Josh, who is on the sand. Josh, it just continues to keep being delayed.
I was just about to come back up to you. There has been another move down here. They didn't move the start line, but they've just moved the cans and moved all the competitors down the row of cans. So plenty of changes. They're trying to get the most fair course for everybody out there. And like most things, everybody's got a different opinion of what's fair, what would be good, what would be bad. So plenty of discussion. We're dragging it out at the moment, and we're not trying to slow anything down, but we're just making sure it's nice and fair for the athletes out here, especially for that B final. They'll probably reassess after this one for the A final to make sure the big one's super important. The girls in the B final, super relaxed, not too much stress down there. The girls in the A final, there's a couple that are laughing and smiling. A few very, very serious. Southport, Maroochydore, all having a good time. Newport, very serious. A couple of the other teams, Northcliffe, very serious as well. So the big clubs came here to play this afternoon, and it's an absolute who's who of the best ocean woman competitors in this one. I can see Georgia Miller, Naomi Scott, Olivia Corrin, Lizzie Wellborn, Tiani Massey, Brodie Trinker, not too far away either. So it's a who's who here.
Josh, while we've got you and we're reflecting on the A final that is to come, you mentioned the serious faces there of some of our competitors, one of them being the team from Northcliffe. like we saw with Matt Bevilacqua in the board, Northcliffe are the defending champions in the Open Women's Board Rescue. Georgia Miller winning that race with Maddie Dunn. Maddie no longer racing, but Georgia is going to be in that race. It would be quite the achievement, wouldn't it, 6 years apart?
Yeah, you're spot on. So tough to win back-to-back anything at the top level of this sport. But to win back-to-back world championships 6 years apart is truly incredible. The win for Bevilacqua, super emotional. The road and the work that goes into these ones between those two world championships, it's so long, it's so tough. And only athletes understand how much work goes into winning one, and then to back it up 6 years later would be something truly incredible. We'll keep an eye out for a lot of these athletes, and to be honest, after Carly Nerthen's ski race performance, her board race and her Ocean Woman over the next 2 days, she's a chance of going back-to-back as well. So keep an eye out for her. Not somebody we thought about at the start of the week, but after going so close in the ski, she could be a two-time back-to-back champion at the end of today.
A lot to play out across the week, and we're seeing an interesting storyline play out already in this B final of the Open Women's Board Rescue. That was the team from Currumbin who ran a long way south. Josh, while we still have you down on the beach, were you expecting a move like that? We've spent a lot of time getting this start line nice and even.
It's Murphy's Law, isn't it? They moved the start line all the way down onto the bank, and then the girls ran all the way back up to where it was originally. But that is the way it works with board rescue. They all see a little hole in the centre there, and a lot of the girls saw that maybe it was a little bit easier to get across that inside gutter and onto the bank. So those middle couple of lanes, the blue and white can, the yellow can, and maybe even the red can, look the best of it so far. They're the ones that everyone wanted to go to.
Well, at the moment, it is Currumbin that is a long way out in front. Call it experience, but Kirsty Higginson was the run who ran straight across that bank. She has a little bit of cutting back to do, but she has quite a sizable lead at the moment, Christy.
Huge lead there for the team from Currumbin. I think we might head back up to Half Moon Bay, maybe in second position, but Currumbin just about to signal to their rescuer, and it might actually be Kirsty on the board, so that might have been Chelsea Jones who has swum that leg for Currumbin. You can see Surfers Paradise also signalling hi to their rescuer, who is away now too.
Manly was right there as well, along with Clifton Surf Lifesaving Club too. That was Savannah Voigt from Clifton Surf Lifesaving Club in South Africa. As they now start to charge across that bank, it is Currumbin on the left of screen. They're so far in front, and they're on a different line that they've now flown out of screen too, so it's Currumbin out in front. The battle that we are seeing right now is the battle for second, and it is very, very tight right across that line as well. We can see Half Moon Bay on the right of screen. If you go back to the left, then you can see Surfers Paradise, Manly right there, Sussex County not far behind as well, and Kurrawa Surf Life Saving Club on the right of screen. But at the moment, it is all Currumbin out in front. So Kirsty Higginson picks up her swimmer Chelsea Jones. Now they start heading back to the beach.
Yeah, class performance there by the team from Currumbin. We've seen them do very, very well in this board rescue event. They may have been unlucky not to sneak into that A final, but they are wanting to stamp their dominance in this B final, and they are doing just that. You can see there the team from Sussex County on the screen. A wave now forming.
A wave has formed. It's brought a team almost all the way through. Surfers Paradise coming a long way back to Currumbin. We thought that lead from Currumbin might have been too big to close down, but as is always the case, a twist and turn. Another wave now standing up for Surfers Paradise. They're going to get down it. Can Currumbin go with them? They do, so it's a race in two for this B final.
Surfers Paradise alongside Currumbin. It's going to be a race in the get-off and a sprint up the beach. We can see Currumbin on screen now. Surfers Paradise with a little bit of a stumble.
Well, we spoke about that sandbank across the start of this race, and it will be Currumbin that benefits from it. Surfers having to wait for their swimmer, their back paddler rather, to get across the line. So Currumbin in one, Surfers Paradise in two. Hard to pick up the cap from that angle, but yes, it is Manly that will finish third in this B final as well. Very interesting racing there, that sandbank. After all of that conjecture and after all of that discussion, it played a big role, but it was the class of Chelsea Jones and Kirsty Higginson that made the difference.
Yes, you can see the team there from Clifton just coming across the line. Half Moon Bay, Kurrawa Well, I might have called it almost too early, thinking Currumbin had it in the bag, and what a wave that the girls from Surfers Paradise pulled up right alongside of them. But Currumbin have done the job. They are the winners of this B final. Josh, we'll pass down to you on the beach.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Chelsea and Kirsty. What a swim. That was unbelievable. You absolutely flew out to that can. You've had a massive 2 weeks, obviously the national team competition into this Interclub Championship. How do you keep doing it?
Oh, I am a bit tired, but it's easier to get up, and especially all these team events today with the Currumbin girls have been epic, and yeah, it was a good way to finish our afternoon off today.
Higo, you told me you'd done 6 sessions in the lead up to here and a B final champion. It must feel pretty good to get out here and get in the mix.
Absolutely, it's so much fun. Like, I wouldn't not be here, race for Chelsea. It's epic, so much fun, and yeah, I just love it getting out there. I was saying before, I think the last board rescue I did was World Champs in Adelaide, so 2018. So it's nice, and also nice to be the board paddler. Usually I'm a swimmer and I'm not a swimmer, so yeah, just enjoying it.
And obviously Currumbin, big ambitions for that overall title, more points for the club. You guys are doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, we started off pretty well at the pool, and all the guys threw down epic times, good podium finishes in all our relays. So yeah, we're here to have fun and get some more points on the board.
Well, congratulations. B final winners, good points for Currumbin. They're on fire.
Congratulations to Currumbin, and so great to see them racing with smiles on their faces as well. Kirsty saying she hasn't raced a board rescue event for 6 years. Well, she hasn't missed the World Championships. Here she is again and doing so well too.
Yeah, I know she spends a lot of time in the ocean. She loves her surfing, so she may not have done any specific training events, but she does keep herself very, very fit. A real lover of the ocean. There she is on screen, Kirsty Higginson.
And that's right, and it was the team from Currumbin that both in the swim and the board leg, and then when they came back to the beach, they used that sandbank. With that in mind, we might try and get the expertise of Josh Minogue. Josh, we were speaking so much about that before the start of this race as we see footage of the Currumbin team on their way back in. How much do you think the A final is going to try and replicate that?
I think there might be a little bit different down here. I just spoke to a few of the coaches. They all want to be on that far right-hand side of the start line on the way out. It's so much shallower, so much further down there. So it's super tough for the teams up on that northern end. You look at the likes of Lani Pallister, Olympic gold medalist on that far end for Alexandra Headland. She's going to have the swim of her life to get out into this one. But if anyone can do it, she can. The girls are on the line, set and ready to go, and we're not far away from the board rescue final.
Thank you, Josh. Well, we better run through this start list of the Open Women's Board Rescue World Championship Final. And in lane number 1, it is Alexandra Headland, the team of Pallister and Woods. Scott and Corrin from BMD Northcliffe are in second. O'Sullivan and Slavin from Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park. Wilson and Smith Welsh from Sunshine Beach. Wellborn and Locke from Newport. Massey and Longhurst from Maroochydore, Trinker and Trinker, the two sisters from Southport, and then it's Sutherland and Williams from Cooks Hill closest to the camera, and they have that sandbank to be able to try and use. So that is going to be the big question as we get underway in the Open Female Board Rescue World Championship Final. But from lane number 2, a flying start from Naomi Scott from BMD Northcliffe. And she is going to be first to put her head down. But right next to her, it's the Olympic gold medalist, Lani Pallister.
Well, Josh said they're going to have their work cut out for them from that end of the field. But knowing that, they will probably rise to that occasion. It looks as though Lani Pallister has a narrow lead over Naomi Scott at the moment. They will know that they have the odds against them and they'll be digging deep.
Lani Pallister, it speaks volumes to her skill and experience in the ocean. Although she is an Olympic swimming champion in that 4x200 metre freestyle relay, she is a clubby first and foremost. She flew across that sandbank. You can't just roll into surf sports and do something like that without years of work.
She has a little bit of a way to go to swim back to her swim can. She's getting close to that now. There she is, the green and white can. But at the other end of the field, it is the team from Cooks Hill who have also signalled to their rescuer.
Bella Williams, so she races for BMD Northcliffe. She's returned to her Nippers club to contest these World Championships because of the fact that there is a limit on how many competitors you can enter from each club. And we did wonder what that sandbank was going to do just then. It certainly did make a big difference. And this is the situation across the line. Very, very even. Cooks Hill is to the right of the frame at the moment as well. There is nothing separating this field as they make their way out to the string of 9.
You can see Emma Woods on that orange board to the left of the screen there. Olivia Corrin from BMD Northcliffe second in from the left, but it looks as though maybe the team from Burleigh Heads might have taken a bit of a narrow lead. There you can see Cooks Hill, who have just snuck back into screen, probably still with the best of it down on that southern end.
Well, one can in from the right. That looks like Southport that's currently in front. Southport, the team of Brodie Trinker and Morgan Trinker, are on their way back in. Maroochydore was right there too, with Massey and Longhurst on screen. We're seeing Alexandra Headland. They're well to the left of the line. That's Pallister and Woods. But there is an opportunity for our teams on the right if that wave comes, and that is the big question now. Where will that wave stand up as Maroochydore edges slightly in front? It's Maroochydore over Southport at the moment. Have a look at this. A little wave is starting to stand up on the right as Southport nosedive down that little wave. That is heartbreaking. Maroochydore. And is that Newport? Yes, it is. Maroochydore and Newport are now in the front. A stumble from Newport. That's Maroochydore that is going to take it out. Tiani Massey is already celebrating as they cross the line to win the World Championship final. The gold medalist in the open female board rescue. Newport charging across the line. It's going to be tight there for that silver medal between Southport as well. But look at the scenes of celebration for Maroochydore.
Maroochydore, they flew home on that southern end. They can hardly believe it. Close racing there from Southport, Cooks Hill. The Alexandra Headlands team may have had to settle for fourth place. There's Burleigh Heads coming across the line. All smiles, though, from our world champions, Maroochydore. They will congratulate the team from Newport. We believe that they finished with the silver medal.
It's going to be very tight for that silver medal between Southport and Newport, but there's no denying our winners, Maroochydore. Just getting down that little wave. We wondered whether Southport were going to drop down the face of it too. Unfortunately, with so much water just rushing back up, moving from side to side across that sandbank, just sticking that nose ever so slightly. But Maroochydore absolutely flew on their way back into the beach. They were perfectly in sync. They got those little runs. We did wonder whether Alexandra Headlands were going to make a run from the northern side of the line, but instead it was the team from Maroochydore who will win the World Championship. They're standing by with Josh Minogue.
Board Rescue Champions has a pretty nice ring to it, doesn't it?
I actually don't know what to say, but yes, it was honestly so fun. Honestly, this is the first season me and Tiani have paddled together, so it's pretty special that we can go win it on our home beach and then back-to-back at Worlds, so there's no better feeling.
And the swimmer board paddle is important, but it's how you gel together on the way home. Is that the difference?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Zoe and I individually may not be the fastest on the way out, but coming in together, we really gel together really, really well. And as a team, we just trust each other. We back each other. We're best friends, and there's no better way to win a gold medal than with your best friends. So,
what does it mean for Maroochydore?
yeah, it means everything, you know. Getting that win on our home beach back at Aussies, some people said it was a fluke, and I think that proves that it certainly wasn't. So,
I don't think anyone's saying it's a fluke, that's for sure. What were you thinking when Tiani was celebrating? You still had about 30 metres to go.
I honestly didn't realise that we were out in front. I thought we were battling it out for second, but as soon as I saw Tiani celebrate, I was like, oh my God. And I looked back and we had a gap, and it hadn't really sunk in until we crossed the line.
Well, the Black Swans of Maroochydore absolutely flying down here. Congratulations, ladies. Australian champions at home soil, and now you're the world champions.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh, and congratulations to Maroochydore, the team of Tiani Massey and Zoe Longhurst. Tiani said it there that they just have that chemistry on the way back in on the board, and what a moment. What a scene of celebration that we're going to catch up to as well. But look, this was the tale from the start of the race. Cookshill, that's Bella Williams on screen, usually races for Northcliffe. She's competing for Cookshill here, her Nimitz club, in order to get a race. And for the most part, we thought that battle might have been playing out on the left-hand side. That was Lani Pallister, the Olympic champion, on screen. They were one of the first to go. You can see the board paddlers there. It was Bella Williams from Cookshill who actually out of the frame of the camera did get there first on the right. Some beautiful moments of celebration from Maroochydore too.
Yeah, a race that really had it all, that board rescue race. Great job for the team from Maroochydore. Just too strong on the way home. The team from Northcliffe and Alexandra Headland doing the best they could from that northern end. There's the team from
was the moment for
Southport.
Absolute heartbreak there. They were contesting the gold medalist. Tiani Massey was celebrating a long way for the line, and look at what it meant when they crossed the line as well. That is a beautiful moment here at the 2024 Lifesaving World Championships. And those results are now starting to come through as well. It was Southport who recovered to claim that silver medal. An incredible finish for Brodie Trinker and Morgan Trinker to come across the line in second, just ahead of Lizzie Wellborn and Sarah Locke for third. It was Cookshill, the Newcastle Surf Club, north of Sydney, that finishes in fourth. So great to see them represented here in Opens competition. Alexandra Headland in fifth, ahead of Northcliffe, the defending champions from 6 years ago, but of course a different team now. Burleigh Heads would finish seventh, with Sunshine Beach rounding out our top 8 of the World Championship final. Maroochydore claiming the gold, the first gold that hasn't gone to BMD Northcliffe this afternoon. So an incredible streak of 4 straight races has now been broken, but they're going to be out for more. We're beginning our men's board rescue races with the B final there as well. So plenty of interested onlookers from our A finalists. We'll see them just about 10 minutes time, but for now we go back down to the B final too. So we're standing by for a start in the B final of the Open Men's Board Rescue. On the far side of the screen, that's the northern side of the start line, is Half Moon Bay. Then it's Manly, Burleigh Heads, Mowbray Park, Kurrawa, Maroochydore, Biarritz and Mount Maunganui. They are our 7 clubs contesting the B final, but already it looks like we are missing a couple of clubs as well. So once again, looks like we have no Burleigh Heads, Mowbray Park. We do have the rest of the field, it does look like. So again, no Burleigh Heads, Mowbray Park. Another interesting decision that's been made here. Not sure whether they're in the beach relay or whether they're saving people for the beach relay, or if it's a case of saving athletes for the rest of the competition, but they've opted against having another race in the tank at the moment, instead leaving 6 teams to battle it out in this B final. So as mentioned, Half Moon Bay, far side of the camera now. Closest to the camera, Mount Maunganui.
Yes, they will have seen that excitement unfold from the women's A and B final. This is the men's board rescue B final. They're ready for a start. They're away now, the team closest to us, Mount Maunganui, running a little bit further to the south. Alongside them, Biarritz with that green and red quartered cap on screen. There is the team from Kurrawa.
And chasing them all the way down the beach was Adam Palmer from Maroochydore too. So he's ran at least a can length, if not 2, to the south. He's watched both of those races and he knows that's exactly where he wants to be. A very split field at the moment that we can see from our high camera. It's a very interesting situation as we had some teams go to the left, as you can see there, Kurrawa and Manly almost swimming in a straight line. And there are our teams to the right. Palmer on the left of frame from Maroochydore. He's just watched his club mates win that gold medal in the women's board rescue. To the right of him is Biarritz. To the right of that is Mount Maunganui. But unlike those last finals, it might be the northern side of the line that got the best of it, being led at this stage by Half Moon Bay.
Yeah, you can absolutely see everyone avoiding that middle section of this course with a wave almost about to break right on our swim cans. Biarritz seemed to have signalled first to their rescuer, narrowly ahead of the team from Maroochydore. You can see Maroochydore there heading in towards their swimmer.
I think we might have just had a moment of confusion. I don't know whether my eyes have deceived me, but I think we have 2 swimmers on the one can. We'll try and get a look at that again, because that could have been Biarritz and Maroochydore who have come together there on the same can.
Oh, I missed
Maybe
that,
my
yes.
maybe my eyesight in that glare of the sun isn't quite what it should be, but that could be an interesting moment in this B final. For now, we'll keep focused on the action at hand. That is Maroochydore out in front by quite a distance. And, well, we've got two swimmers at the back there. I don't know whether that was the can or...
That's our swimmers on the northern end, so that's Half Moon Bay and Manly, just having a bit of a rest out the back there while they wait for
that
their...
orange can and that green and gold that is now to the left of screen. So look, we'll wait and see if anything is unfolded there or whether we're getting a little bit delusional after a long day of commentary here at the 2024 Lifesaving World Championships. For now, we have Manly on screen. They are picking up in second place in this B final, doing so with a smile on the face of Hayden Cotter, which is always great to see our competitors out there having fun, gritting their teeth through the pain. That's Maroochydore on screen. We were thinking that we could see them battling for that gold medal in the World Championship, but that lane draw for them in the semi-final was not kind. We're seeing their class on show now. Adam Palmer, of course, was swimming out to that can. He's been picked up by Oliver Monaghan. Now they're flying back to the beach. They're now actually about to stand up on that sandbank and make their way across the line. So that's Manly on screen right now. And they've just been joined. No, that is Maroochydore on screen, but there was a wave coming through for B Ritz and Mount Maunganui. But Maroochydore, back-to-back race wins. Of course, this is the B final of the Open Men's Board Rescue. After just winning the Open Female Board Rescue, B Ritz comes across the line. Mount Maunganui not far behind. We believe that's second and third at this point. Yet to see the rest of the field from the northern end. And once again, Christy, it's that southern side of the line that is getting a big advantage.
Yeah, it's very, very clear after these board rescue events. We'll be excited to see who's lining up in those positions for the A final of the men's. Congratulations goes to Maroochydore. They're the winners of this B final. Unlucky, as you said, not to make it into the A final, but the next best thing is taking out this B final. They're down on the beach now with Josh.
I'm here with the Maroochydore boys. It's not the A final, boys, but it is. It's a consolation prize.
Yeah, it's good points for the club, for the overall. So we were just happy to be in one of those finals, and we got a bit unlucky in our quarter, but super good points for the club, so we're pretty happy with it.
And back-to-back wins for Maroochydore, not a bad little patch of form. Obviously, you guys want to be super competitive in that overall point score.
Yeah, 100%. Like, the guys did really well last 3 days in the pool and just trying to back it up on the beach and get as many points as possible. So, B final, we'll take it.
A final coming up next. I'd like to get your insight on it. Obviously, this end may be a little bit easier to get that run out. Which end would you rather be at?
Yeah, I'd rather be on this end. Super shallow bank, set it up well for your board paddler. So, it's looking good on the right-hand side.
What would you do if you're at the other end?
There's still a bank over there, and you kind of got the wind pushing you towards the cans. But, either way, you just got to dig in and see what happens.
Love your work, boys. B final champion. Congratulations.
Thank you, Josh, and congratulations to Maroochydore. Great to get their insights about the conditions as well. It's not often that we get to do that as we see the race replay. Adam Palmer, he ran a long way to the south there, flew across that bank alongside the competitors from B Ritz and Mount Maunganui. That's Hayden Cotter on screen, one of the best surf swimmers in our sport, charging out in front. Now, look, this is where I was thinking that there was some kind of confusion. I think we did have two competitors on the green and yellow can, so we'll wait to see what that means for the overall places in this B final. Not as costly as in an A final. That was the teams from B Ritz and Mount Maunganui.
It certainly looked like the team from Mount Maunganui were heading to that same can, but Ritz were there first, and it looked as though they might have got their can right. So we'll wait to bring you those official results. We do obviously have judges out in the boats, so as you mentioned, not as critical in this B final. We won't want to see mistakes like that, though, come the A final.
Oh, look, two of our international clubs who have come a long way. Let's just let them take the points in the B final. It was great to see them finish second and third across the line. But look, now our focus turns to the World Championship final. On the far side of screen, it's Coogin Headland next to Nobby's, Newport, Alexandra Headland, Wanda, Mairangi Bay, Currumbin Beach, and BMD Northcliffe off and running. That is Joe Collins, who is out in front. He is one of the fastest runners in surf sports racing, and he has turned on the speed right there.
Well, Northcliffe and Currumbin are going to be incredibly happy with their line, their positioning on the line there. They have picked the absolute hot alley. We've talked about that southern end all day, and look at the pace that is on from Northcliffe and Currumbin.
They are going stroke for stroke at the moment. This is an unbelievable showing of speed as Joe Collins on the right of screen, Callum Brennan on the left as they start to line up their can. They have a big advantage over the rest of the field. I think we go back to Benjamin Sutton, Noah Steiner. They're racing for Wanda. We have Cooper Williams swimming for Alexandra Headland as well. Alexandra Headland looked to being third, but out in front it's Joe Collins gets there first for BMD Northcliffe, just ahead of Callum Brennan from Currumbin. It will be Cooper Williams from Alexandra Headland in third, in four the team from Mairangi Bay, but at the moment it's a race in two. Out in front, Matt Bevilacqua, the back-to-back world board champion, has found his rhythm and he is flying.
Yeah, he's just got a little bit of a jump there. You can see just slightly ahead of Currumbin. We'll pan back now to the rest of the field. It looks as though maybe the team from Coogin have made a little bit of a move slightly ahead of Alexandra Headlands, but it's all Northcliffe and Currumbin. Look at that gap that Matt Bevilacqua has opened up for his team.
It was tight between the two of them when they did get to that can, and now it is advantage Northcliffe. A clean pickup. They are paddling back to the beach to try and claim the Board Rescue Championship. They've had so much success this afternoon. As a wave starts to stand up, Collins lifts the rating, Bevilacqua stays in time. Look at them flying across these runs on the way back in. They're looking so smooth, Christy.
They are looking for any little bump of assistance. They're going to get one now if they can just adjust themselves. Yeah, or... Yes, have they held it?
The nose digs into the water, but they keep the board on that wave, and they are going to win the World Championship because of it. They're cheering, they're celebrating, the smiles are on their faces, they're great friends, and now together they are world champions. Northcliffe, the winners of the Men's Open Board Rescue World Championship Final. Joe Collins and Matt Bevilacqua. That was a masterclass of board rescue racing. It's a sprint for the silver medal. We have Currumbin on screen. It is going to be tight to see whether they get the nod over one of our clubs from the northern end of the line. We will try and pick up what cap that was. I think that could have been the back-to-back Australian champions, Charlie Brooks and Connor Maggs, who may have come across the line for the bronze medal behind Currumbin and BMD Northcliffe. This has been a fairy tale afternoon for the club. Matt Bevilacqua won the board at the start of our finals package this afternoon. And together with Joe Collins, they have just produced what could be described as a perfect board rescue race.
I can't believe how fast that race went. Just the speed at which they got out to those swim cans, and then with Matt with that pickup, it was one of the fastest board rescues I've ever witnessed. They were always going to be a very, very hard team to beat, but particularly from that alley. Josh, you're down on the beach with our world champs.
That's right, we will go down to Josh on the beach now, who is standing by with Matt Bevilacqua and Joe Collins. They're just telling war stories from the race, and for good reason as well. Josh, that was one of the best board rescue races that we have seen in a very, very long time. We'll go down for an interview with our champions in just a moment as they go back to get some more photos now. And that is a race to remember as well. Joe Collins and Matt Bevilacqua, the perfect race in that board rescue. Look, we knew that Sandbank was going to have the advantage for them. If we relive it now, Joe Collins, this is as fast as you'll ever see someone run across the sand.
Yeah, he was really out to get the best start possible. Didn't get a huge jump from Currumbin, still fairly tight in that first swim leg out. I think the massive move was when Bevy hit his board, and he really probably put a good 15 metres. They absolutely nailed that pickup, and there was really no stopping them when they turned for home.
And crucially, they got a run straight out of the cans as well. It wasn't this first little bump, but it was this wave that was starting to build. We did wonder, we've been discussing whether these waves out the back would have an influence, and they certainly did in this situation. That was extraordinary. A little nervous moment on that shore break. They wouldn't have known it at the time. It was a nervous look over the shoulder from Matt Bevilacqua, but they were a long way in front of the rest of the field. The claim started early, and for good reason too. Joe Collins and Matt Bevilacqua, well, look at what it means. 5 out of 6 World Championships going to Northcliffe this afternoon. We keep talking about it, but we have rarely seen a day like it in World Championships history.
It's very, very impressive. Great start for Northcliffe. Day 1 of this ocean competition. We've had 3 days in the pool for the Open Interclub Championships. So very, very vital points on offer as we move now up to the beach track arena. And we have our A and B finals for our beach relays. Women to go first to the women's beach relay B final.
It's an incredible way for us to say goodbye to the ocean events for the afternoon. That is the last event that we will see in the water. Instead, our focus for the rest of the day will now be at the beach track. And if those board rescue races went in the blink of an eye, then buckle up for these beach sprint relay championships of the world. Of course, we are starting with the B final. And from the right-hand side of screen is lane number 1. Nida Onwartstart from Germany, Currumbin Beach in 2, Sunshine Coast Grammar Pool Lifesaving Club in 3. The Indian Lifesaving and Lifesaving Sports Federation is in 4. Beatingham Bissingen is in 5. Maroochydore is in 6. Langenberg is in 7. And Clifton Surf Lifesaving Club is on the left of screen. That is lane A. Now, Christy, it's been a little while now, about a couple of hours since we've actually seen the beach sprint competition underway up here. You rarely see a track as smooth as what we are right now. Look at that down this track. It looks like there's been barely a step on it because of that wind.
Oh, I'd argue that there's no better track in the world at the best of times than this Kurrawa beach track. It's almost purpose-built right up alongside their boardwalk. It's a beautiful big stretch of beach here, and you can see the crowd starting to come up from that water area to surround our beach track for these afternoon finals. It's a real showcase.
It's a real showcase, and it's a real favourite of the program too. So much excitement, so much tension around a beach sprint relay, not just because of the sprinting down the track, but also because of those all-important baton changes. It is so crucial to get those right, because one little slip up, and that can be race over. They're moving into the starters' hands now. And they are racing in this B final of the Open Women's Beach Relay, and look at that speed from Currumbin in lane number 2. They have a big advantage over Clifton Surf Life Saving Club, who is currently on the far left of screen in second place, but it's Currumbin in 1. Maroochydore now starting to make a move. They're chasing down Clifton Surf Life Saving Club. A big smile on the faces from Currumbin as well. We're pulling surf athletes up to the beach for all important points. A clean change from Currumbin. Maroochydore has moved into second. It's Clifton in third.
You just saw Chelsea Jones hand over there. We saw her compete in the board rescue. Currumbin still with a lead over Maroochydore, and the team from India closing fast.
The Indian Lifesaving Federation are now into third place, but it's Currumbin out in front, showing plenty of speed. But here comes Maroochydore. Here comes Maroochydore pushing towards the line. Currumbin desperately trying to hold on. It's going to come down to the wire, but I dare say Currumbin gets there by the barest of margins over Maroochydore. That was Tiani Massey that was running that last leg for Maroochydore. She just won a world championship in the board rescue and straight up to the beach track.
I believe both members of that board rescue were in that beach relay team, along with Elise Wood and Eve Warren. So we'll have to wait to see if they've done enough. Very, very tight finish there with the team from Currumbin who are on screen. Also, a lot of competitors coming up straight from those water events to join their teammates.
Currumbin absolutely flying out of the start there. We did expect that as well, putting their beach specialist in first. A big difference in those skills and that acceleration. And from there, it was always going to be a case of trying to hold on. As we mentioned, Maroochydore were back in about third or fourth after that first change, but they really made some strong moves as they charged down the track as well. Then it came down to Tiani Massey. You looked at the acceleration there and you thought that Maroochydore were going to get home, but there was a second kick from the Currumbin Beach Vikings. They fought all the way to the end, and I think it might have been enough. Our camera was a little bit further in front of that finish line than I first thought, so that is going to be a very tight finish, but it does look as though Currumbin Beach holding on for that win. In the B final of the Open Women's Beach Relay, and they're standing by with Josh Bernard.
Ladies, what a performance. Another final for you, Chels. Water to the beach, you can do everything.
We're just here to get some good points for Currumbin, so to take out the win on the B final on the beach sprint too is good points.
How important is this club, and how important is it that you come here to the World Championships and do a really good job?
Yeah, no, like that's why I'm here this week, to do my part as the team in Currumbin, and Cammie's joined. She raced last week as well for the French national team, so yeah, it's good that we can back it up and perform for Currumbin too.
And how much you're enjoying being part of Currumbin?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, it's amazing club and a lot of fun, and I'm so happy to be in Currumbin.
Congratulations, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you, Josh, and yes, congratulations to Currumbin. Very crucial points when it comes to the overall point score. After a very, very successful campaign already in the pool, Currumbin right in the fight for that overall championship. But now, our focus turns to the A final. There is a World Championship on the line right now in this Open Women's Beach Relay Championship final. In lane number 1, Noosa heads. That is the right of camera as it currently stands. In 2 is Currawa. 3 is Anglesea. 4 is Sussex County from the United States of America. In lane number 5 is BMD Northcliffe Surf Lifesaving Club. Next up is City of Perth in lane 6. In 7 is North Cronulla Surf Lifesaving Club. And in 8 is Opanake Surf Lifesaving Club from New Zealand. We've been speaking throughout these preliminary rounds of the beach relay, Christy, about who is racing in the surf and who is racing on the beach. If you have a look at this start list, we can see that Currawa Surf Lifesaving Club is stacked with some very, very big names on the beach. Brittany Inga, Olivia May. We've seen them have so much success before. Brittany Inga, an Australian representative. And down to North Cronulla as well. Alex Rampoldi, Emily Rampoldi, Sari McKee. Sari won the 2K beach run in the youth competition. And Caitlin Williams was right there in the flags final as well. So some of those clubs with less ocean competitors can afford to pick a team of beach sprinters.
Anglesea too, a club with a very rich history of great beach sprinters and flaggers. The team from Anglesea there, you can see them just on the left-hand side of screen.
Anglesea winning our first semi-final today. It was City of Perth who won the second semi. They are on screen right now. Some nervous moments here up at the beach arena. As you can see, a big crowd is on hand for the Beach Relay World Championship final. Steely looks of determination as the crowd falls silent.
The team from Noosa closest to screen, they have the youth beach sprint world champion in their team of Josie Holmes.
Quality right across the field as they are away and racing. And at the moment, it is North Cronulla which gets the best of the early exchange. It's North Cronulla ever so slightly ahead of our team from Sussex County and Currawa. City of Perth making a late charge as well. So clean baton changes right across the board. And now Currawa is starting to open up.
Currawa with a narrow lead, although the team on the top of the field, they're fighting back.
North Cronulla and City of Perth. It was a flying baton change from City of Perth as BMD Northcliffe drops that baton. City of Perth is now well out in front. Currawa is in 2 with North Cronulla in 3. It's a very, very big gap back to 4th place. As we're on to the anchor leg now, so it's City of Perth in 1, but here comes Currawa. Currawa is making a late charge towards the line. It is going to be close, and Currawa, the home club, will take out this World Championship. Currawa wins on its home stretch of sand ahead of City of Perth, and North Cronulla rounding out that top 3. A late charge towards the line, and Currawa will claim the gold medal.
What an amazing final run there from the team from Kurrawa. You can see she had a little bit of a cheeky look right on the finish line with a dip of the head. I think she will know she has got it, although we will have to wait for those results to become official. The judges will verify the changes at each end. They looked safe from where we were sitting. The team from Kurrawa ever so narrowly ahead of the team of City of Perth.
It really was an extraordinary race. North Cronulla exploding out of the starting blocks as well. We saw Kurrawa and Sussex County from the United States actually got across that first leg in first, but that baton change, you can see that those three Australian clubs, City of Perth, North Cronulla and Kurrawa, have put the work in, because that was where the difference was made. It was a lot of distance to make up for Kurrawa at that final leg, but a lunge across the line. Very, very tight. But we do believe Kurrawa has finished in front. And yes, those results now being made official. So Kurrawa are your world champions in the open female beach relay by the barest of margins. It was a lunge on the line with City of Perth to win the silver medal. And North Cronulla charging home for the bronze. They are our three medalists. But out in front, it was Kurrawa, the home club, claiming a gold medal. Standing by with Josh Minogue.
I'm here with the champions, Kurrawa. Not only you win it on your home soil, but you're also the back-to-back champions from 2018. I don't think any of you girls were part of that team back then, but it must feel good.
So good. We came off a win at Aussies this year and last year, so we felt like we had a little bit of pressure and expectation on our back, but we're just so happy that we did it and we got the gold again.
Britt, talk to me about those final maybe 10 metres in there. You had a little look across at the City of Perth. Did you know you'd won it?
Yeah, I thought we did, but obviously you got to wait to be sure.
Congratulations. Tell us about those first few legs. What's it mean to get it done here, and was there a little bit of pressure?
Yeah, so much pressure. We've come back to back, and we knew coming in today it would be a lot of pressure, but we knew we put a good race together.
And you think being on your home beach helped a little bit?
Oh, 100%. Like, we train here all the time, so it's awesome to have the home beach advantage. And, yeah, we just went out there and gave it our all and came away with the win, so we're stoked, honestly.
And World Champions has a pretty nice ring to it, doesn't it? The Kurrawa girls on top on their home soil.
Thank you, Josh, and congratulations to Kurrawa, world champions on their very own stretch of sand. You just heard it there, Christy, that they said they felt an advantage by running at home. It certainly showed it. What a dramatic finish as well, City of Perth. That was so close towards the end.
We spoke earlier about this being one of the best beach sprint tracks in the world, and how fortunate are they that this is their home track. This is where they get to do all of their training. They may have had a lot of local supporters here cheering them on. I'm sure they felt that support and they've got the job done.
So it's Brittany Inga, Emily Cardi, Olivia May and Tamara Johnston who, after claiming multiple Australian championships, now add the honour of being world champions. Holly Fraser, Imogen Harrington, Megan McCaffrey and Jacqueline Lord from City of Perth claiming the silver ahead of Alex Rampoldi, Emily Rampoldi, Sari McKee and Caitlin Williams from North Cronulla, our bronze medalists. Anglesea, Sussex County, Opanake, Surf Lifesaving Club from New Zealand, BMD Northcliffe, they were the following results. Noosa Heads finishing in 8th, rounding out that A final. And there's not long to wait for the next race because the B final is already on the line of the men's beach relay. In lane number 1 is B Ritz, 2 is Baden Bruges, 3 is Magdeburg, 4 is Club Deportivo, 5 is Half Moon Bay, 6 is Sri Lanka, 7 is Norderstedt from Germany. They are now in the starters' hands and they're already away and racing. So an even start across the board. You can't split those first couple of teams by too much. He's one of our international clubs that's extending further and further in front. A very tight opening couple of legs.
Might be the team from Bay Ritz that are in the bottom lane closest to the beach. They have zipped away. They've got a handy lead now.
It was Baden Bruges on that opening leg, but you're right, Christy. B Ritz with a huge advantage now, running on the edge of that lane too, getting into that smooth sand. Now we're seeing a move from Magdeburg too. So Magdeburg, the German club, making a big play. B Ritz looking over the shoulder already. He's barely hit his stride, but you need to keep going because there is pace coming very fast. That was perhaps the most relaxed anchor leg that I have ever seen. in a beach sprint relay. Norderstedt charging home to claim second place. Third was very tight, but there was no doubting B. Ritz. He knew he had it won from the time he had the baton.
He is not puffed whatsoever, just doing enough to get his team across the line. They had a fantastic lead, so not too much work to be done for our fourth and final runner, but it is the team from Bayritz who will take out the Open Men's Beach Relay B final.
A very, very even opening leg. It was Bayritz on the outside. Baden Bruges, though, might have had that slight advantage, and now Bayritz started to kick into gear. The French champion club, they're so strong. We've seen them in action all day. Magdeburg from Germany, Club Deportivo from Spain right there as well. It was a truly international race, this B final. We go back there to Half Moon Bay, and our team from Sri Lanka, Lifesaving. Great to have them here as well. A big push on the line. It will be very tight between Baden Bruges and from Norderstedt in Germany, but they will make up those two positions. I think Norderstedt might have just got the nod ahead of Baden Bruges. Those results are starting to be made official now. So it was B. Ritz who have taken out the B final of the Open Men's Beach Relay, and they are joined by Josh Minogue.
I'm here with the boys from Bayritz. You said you thought you could have been in the final, but a drop baton in the heat cost you a spot. Must feel good to win that one.
Yeah, mistakes were made, but I think we did pretty well here, and we are all proud of ourselves. So yeah, it's cool.
And a good way to end the day.
Yeah, good way, a very good way. Like I think the boys in the ocean won. They won the boat rescue, or no, they did second and first for the final B, also for the rescue tube. So yeah, a good day.
Well, congratulations, guys. Well done. B final champions.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you, Josh, and congratulations to B. Ritz. As we heard them say before, after winning that B final in the Open Men's Board Rescue, it's great to win something, and they've certainly won that B final in very commanding fashion. You can see those results coming up at the bottom of the frame, but for now, Christy, we're turning our focus to the A final, the World Championship of the Men's Beach Relay.
Yes, it's going to be an incredibly fast field. You can see there the team from Northcliffe. Alongside them is a team from New Zealand, South Brighton, in that yellow cap.
To run through our start list for this Open Men's World Championship final, in lane number 1, that is the right of screen as we currently see it, is Maroochydore. In 2 is Karawa. 3 is South Maroubra. 4 is Mollymook. 5 is BMD Northcliffe. 6 is South Brighton from New Zealand. 7 is Noosa Heads. And in lane number 8, the far side of the camera as it currently is placed. Now on the left is Clifton Beach Surf Lifesaving Club. We can see the names now on screen as well. A number of beach competitors are mixed with a number of surf competitors as well. It is all about filling out your team and getting points for the club. A reminder of those semi-final results. It was South Maroubra. They're lining up in lane 3. They won the first semi-final. Mollymook won the second as well, but there was not much separating any of these teams.
No, they looked very, very impressive in those semi-finals. The team from South Maroubra alongside the team from Mollymook. They have drawn lanes side by side in this final. They seem to be the two teams to beat, but they won't have it their own way. Plenty of speed on the line from all of our teams.
We are buckling up for what is going to be an incredible final. This is our last race of the day here at the Lifesaving World Championships for 2024. And we are not far away from a start now. Maroochydore in lane number 1, that's on the right-hand side of screen. Clifton, the South African heavyweights on the beach. They dominated youth competition. They are on the left and the far side of the camera as it currently stands. And we are away and racing in the Open Men's Beach Relay World Championship final. Northcliffe exploding out of the start. They have the lead over Clifton. Then back to South Maroubra with Noosa Heads right there as well. Clean changes across the line. Riley Fitzsimmons, the Olympic silver kite medalist, has been mowed down from BMD Northcliffe. We're seeing a big move through the middle of the field as well from Mollymook. So Mollymook is now in front. A baton drop from South Brighton. It's Mollymook ahead of South Maroubra in 2. It is Clifton in 3 right there with Noosa Heads as well. Here we go for the final change, and it's all coming down to the wire now. Mollymook out in front. It's Mollymook in front, but here comes Noosa Heads. Noosa Heads with a late lunge at the line, but Mollymook will win the World Championship final ahead of Noosa Heads in second. It might have been South Maroubra, the bronze medalist. That race over in the blink of an eye. Electric speed right across the field.
Yeah, Mollymook really making a move in that second leg, and they didn't look back from there. Such a strong performance, a huge history of beach relay, beach sprinters, the club of Mollymook. The history continues for them. Noosa coming home so strong to nab that silver medal.
Yeah, that's right. It was Northcliffe who exploded out of that start. That was an incredible start from BMD Northcliffe. South Maroubra going with them too. Clean changes on that first leg. Riley Fitzsimmons, welcome back to Surf Lifesaving. He was mowed down by all of those beach specialists, and that is where those beach teams took control. Mollymook went into that third leg in front. They extended that lead further. It was Mollymook in one. South Maroubra was right there, but Noosa Heads would come through to split them. No denying our winners, though. They were celebrating before they even finished. It's Mollymook Surf Lifesaving Club who are standing by with Josh Minogue.
As the other two boys start to make their way down, one of the most beautiful parts of the world on the New South Wales south coast is Mollymook, and it's home to another World Beach Relay Championship team. How good does that feel to be called World Champions?
Oh, bloody awesome. You know, boys working really hard for this. You know, we put a good team together, and for it all to come off, you know, it's all worth it. And yeah, bloody stoked for the fellas.
How much work's gone into this win?
Oh, good 2 months of non-stop work. Just after Aussies, we came off that win, and then we just put a real ton of work in, and the boys really stepped up today, so very proud.
What about Noosa and the rest of the field? Obviously super tight towards those final stages. What did it feel like to get away from it at the end?
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous the last 20, but I had trust in Jamie to finish off the race for us, so yeah, it's pretty tight competition, but stoked to get the win.
And it just adds to the history of, obviously, Mollymook, such a strong beach club for so many years, and you guys are writing another chapter.
Exactly right, and we're going to do it for many more years.
Oh, you've heard it here first. Mollymook on fire, World Beach Relay Champions. Congratulations, gents.
Thank you, Josh, and congratulations to Mollymook, the team of Jake Stewart, Brock Scrivener, Jack Bridges and Jamie Smith, who will be around for many, many more years to come. Huge smiles on their faces, photos. You can see one of their supporters in the background too, just waiting to jump in for that photo. Wow, what a performance it was. They take the gold medal and the crown of being the World Open Men's Beach Relay Champions. Samuel Ross, Hayden Dewberry, Kai Thompson and Kai Woods from Noosa claiming silver ahead of Blake Drysdale, Jet van der Wallen, Jake Lynch and Luke Urick from South Maroubra making up our top three. Clifton Surf Lifesaving Club in 4, back to Maroochydore, BMD Northcliffe, Kurrawa finishing in 7th place with South Ryder from New Zealand, rounding out our top 8 in the World Championship final after that unfortunate backdrop. But Chrissy, for Mollymook, what a performance it was.
We spoke about how fast that final race completed. It's been a wonderful afternoon of finals here. I have loved bringing the live stream to you wherever you are, all over the world. Tune in again tomorrow. We've got 2 more days of racing here on the beach for this Open Interclub competition.
Thank you very much, Christy Munro. I'm Sam Jordan, and on behalf of Josh Minogue as well, thank you so much for joining us on day 1 of the Open Interclub competition here at the World Championships. We'll see you tomorrow for another huge day of surf sports racing.